I said, I'm going to expose him because he's lame because he's only bringing his one child McDonald's and there's 3 other children here.
Right.
Hey, have you guys heard of this?
Yeah.
I haven't heard of it.
What is your viewpoint on it?
My mom be doing the same thing like that, so I definitely understand. Like,
So like your mom have done that before? Like, don't just be bringing one kid over here when it's...
But I do get it, like, that's his child, so he only provided for his child. But it's like, if he was coming, at least call, like, say, I'm finna come through, bring some food. I would have told you, like, okay, I'm finna cash up, you bring some food for everybody. Like, this ain't that. Like, how you know they ain't hungry?
Mm-hmm. Well, like, she said in the video, here he come again doing this. So he does
do
it
again, yeah.
So he does it all the time.
Yeah, no.
So how do you feel on that?
I feel it, but no, he providing for his kid. You can't be mad at that, because if he wasn't providing, then you be salty.
Mm-hmm.
So at least he came through with some food. So she tripping. I think she tripping.
She threw the food on the floor and all that. Like she threw the...
I ain't see that video.
Yeah,
yeah,
like at the end of the video, she threw... So like, she was like, give it here then. Give it here. And then she took the soda and threw the food on the floor.
No, and that's disrespectful.
No, for real.
In real life, disrespectful. But I get it, because my mom, she was like that too. Like, don't, even when Christmas come, if we was the step kids or whatever, don't overdo it for the other ones and don't do it for them. But, so I get it, but she tripping. I wouldn't have aired our business out like that.
Wow. So SMED, like, what is your take on it, like, before I give mine?
Well, if you got a child with a woman that's having other children, if you can't afford to, I think that it'll be a good idea to take some food over there to the other kids. But if you cannot, then you do what you can, you know? And I mean, I don't think that it's right for anybody to try to embarrass somebody on social media because they can't afford to buy food for the rest of your children. You know what I'm saying? And this is kind of like getting into the abortion shit too.
Right, that's right.
Like sometimes, man, and for everybody that's watching the show, man, we invite anybody to call the show. 937-991-0025. The phone number is attached to this status. So call the show and let us know your opinion on abortion and whether this Roe versus Wade will affect you or whatever, you know. And then in the comment section below on YouTube, for everybody that's watching on YouTube, make sure that you like, subscribe, ring the bell notification so you can get alerted. And please drop your comments and let us know how you feel about the Roe versus Wade new decision, the overturning of abortions here in several states. Absolutely. Several states automatically are saying that no abortions are legal, but Ohio is not one of those states. So this is a state that you could come to and actually have an abortion. But when we start to talk about abortion, my thing that I want to kind of like bring up is just the idea of sex.
Before we go there, answer the other one first real quick.
I did. I said if you got money, then bring something for all the kids. But if you don't, you can't blame me.
I want to add one extra point to
Come on.
before we put that to a vote, right? So the brother in the in the actual video, he said something to me that was very, very telling. He said, "What about the other child father?" Like, and he was saying, "This isn't my responsibility. This is your responsibility." She was like, "You looking like a goofy out here." He was literally saying, those aren't my responsibility. And if she was saying, "Hey, I get my child support, well, not my child support. I get my food stamps on this day, and you know this and this and the third." So to me, I only want to make sure that people understand this is why the courting process is so important.
No, for real.
The talking process of meeting people is so important because a lot of these things that we're talking about later on in the show could be avoided by a conversation that you're skipping because she got a fatty, because she's a baddie, before she did that and a third. So a lot of times these issues can be avoided before we even get to this point. We'll be talking about...
That's what I was about to say, though.
Okay, well, off the backboard of the road then.
For sure. Like, it's important to know who you with, man, before you just have a child with somebody. Mm-hmm. And then, like, man, a lot of... But with the abortion issue in general. So I was talking to my daughter last night who was supposed to come to the podcast, but me and her got into so much of a heated discussion about this. Like, she didn't get a chance to come today. She didn't even want to fuck with it.
Right.
But the thing about this is, she was like, how you gonna stop people from having abortions and this and that? And my answer to me is like, well, actually make sure that the person that you sleeping with loves you.
Mm.
Yeah.
Make them prove themselves to you. Like, don't give your love away. And this go for men and women.
There you go.
Man, everybody that's watching, what's up? Call the show 937-991-0025 and let us get your view on abortion. Me, I feel like abortions are flat out wrong. That's just my perspective. I'm not the one to go and judge anybody for necessarily having an abortion, but I think the actual act of having an abortion is wrong in general. There are some circumstances, rape, incest, if the mother is going to die because she gives childbirth, bro, that's an automatic go. I say go ahead. I understand that. But if you just out here fucking and you get pregnant, excuse me to the young queen, but if you're out here having relationships and you don't even know this person and then you end up getting pregnant, like the baby gotta have some rights in there too. And so now it kind of gets to the matter of, when do you consider life? When do you consider a fetus or conception to actually become life?
So let's raise a question. Do you guys believe in the birth of a child happens at the moment of conception?
What you mean?
Such as the moment the baby, well,
As
the
soon as
moment
the
he
sperm and the
ejaculates in
egg,
you.
well, the sperm and the egg
Yeah.
meet, and you pregnant. You show a pregnancy test.
Yeah.
You take a pregnancy test,
That's a good
and
point.
it reads positive. Is that a life inside you at that point?
Yeah. That's the test telling you that you're pregnant. Even before you take your test, though, you kind of know, like, that's where the period draw the line. Like, if you miss your period, you're pregnant. Or you have symptoms, like, you feel like you off, you're pregnant.
Okay.
And sometimes, like, if you have, like, symptoms before you take the pregnancy test is your second attempt to knowing that you're pregnant.
937 Christo 937-991-0025.
Do you agree with the moment that your pregnancy test shows that you are pregnant, you have a child at that point in time?
Yes, but I had an abortion before.
Okay.
So I just feel like, yeah, that is life. But you still have a right to make certain decisions, because if you're not gonna be able to provide for this life or be there for this life, why are we even about to prolong this? Now, I do believe you get one fuck up in life. So you get one chance to, damn, I fucked up. Now, if you still out here fucking and sucking, then yeah, you got some responsibilities.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? That's why I only have one
Right.
in real life. So I do think in the atmosphere you should be able to have one little dang. I don't know if I'm ready. But you can't be out here just, I don't know if I'm ready every time you get pregnant, because that's another case.
Well, we got a comment. Raven, what's up with you, Ray? Ray said, talk about the real reason why they are trying to get rid of abortions.
This is
Call
exactly what me
in
and
the
talking
show.
about, bro. Yeah.
937. We want to know. Enlighten us. 937-991-0025. I don't know. I don't know about the conspiracy as to why they are trying to get rid of abortions. But one thing that we did do was we looked up some statistics. Now, when you consider abortion to be a cause of death, we're not even going to say a murder, but we're just going to say an actual cause of death for black people, right? 62.7% of all black deaths are caused from abortion. We are the minority. We're the minority, yet we're killing over half of our children before they're even being born. Like, how could we ever be strong as we can when we are killing half of the people who would be born? And no other race is doing it like that at all. Here go Christo. He's calling in to the show. Christo, what's up with you, bro?
Man, what's up, bro? I ain't going.
Okay, talk to me. All right, what's up?
The conversation ain't had enough, and I just had this conversation with my girl, my woman. She got 5 kids, and she got 3 baby daddies with the 5 kids. I just had this conversation with them.
Okay.
It's not a conversation enough about that. The woman don't take enough responsibility for what her actions is. It's just, and even with the Roe versus Wade right now,
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I completely get it. You got you got the fact that you're stripped away from your option. I definitely get that. But most of these women, black women especially, and I love my black woman. I'm with a black woman. I will always stay with a black woman. But I want to be honest and be clear about it. Y'all put these options on having these babies when you know that you can't even buy gas. You can't even buy bread. You can't buy cereal for your kid. But you decide to have this motherfucking baby out of spite because this nigga was the last motherfucker that you finally figured out that he was the guy that nutted in you and the other guy didn't.
So we got Hood just checked in. Hold on, look. Hood checked in on the comments and he said he said premeditated murder. Is an abortion a premeditated murder?
I don't want the narrative to run away. I think we can address what bro's saying first before we move forward.
Well, I mean,
Because
it's kind of like are you saying that women should be able to have abortions, bro, because they can't afford bread, or they shouldn't be able to?
I absolutely agree with the fact that women should have the right to have abortions.
Okay.
But a lot of times, 90% of the times, is predicated off of the man pushing them to do so. Yeah. And the women think that it's because that this nigga just don't want to have no kids and that. And a lot of times, the majority of the fact, that may be the cause. But I'm speaking from pro-right. I'm speaking for this kid may have a chance to make it, but you're already bringing this kid into a world of chaos because you know that you're not right. You know that you can't. You don't have $20 to spend on gas. You know that he can't buy no shoes. You can't buy him no shoes. You know that if the school calls for him to have new uniforms, you can't afford it. None of that shit. I'm not with bringing a kid into the world that you as a mother and that me as a father said that I already can't add on an extra thing to my bounty.
So okay, and then Christo, that all those is great points. Let's chop it up about what Christo was talking about, and then bro, you can call back in so we can clear the phone lines because we got a bunch of other comments in here. But man, thank you, bro, because that was I like that observation and it made the show. All right, so hit us back. All right, so we got other comments coming in, but I want to check in on Raven real quick. Raven said, white people are becoming the minority. White people are the ones getting abortions. They don't want to become the minority.
And that was the same notion I raised to SMED and pre-production, but the numbers we looked at, it showed not to the same contrary. It was showing that you are seeing black people being literally eradicated at 82% clip compared to the whites were at a 70-something% clip. So even if they were to say, okay, boom, abortions are off the table, you're still going to have that overwhelming majority of black people that will be produced from not having that. But they would produce more whites. I will give you that. They would produce more whites based off that. But you also will have more black producers as well, which wouldn't help with the numbers also. So we did already go down that road. But I want to address what Christo said. Mm-hmm. Because Christo said something more or less along the lines of, women need to take more accountability for who they have sex with, but that same mirror is something men got to look at as well.
Exactly.
Right? So you can't have one without the other, right? So at the end of the day, it's like I understand what Christo is saying, but understand that
he's putting it all on the women, and that's not right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Both parties have something to do with the culpability.
Yep.
Like when a man pays for an abortion, he took place in the murder for hire. Mm-hmm. If a man is not actively fighting against abortion and just willingly lets it happen, you still are complicit in this death of a child.
So let me pose a question.
Yeah.
Do biological fathers, should they have any say-so in abortions? I'm going to go with the ladies first.
Yeah. Great question.
They definitely should. I would say that you have conceived the child, you have a choice.
So what in the event of if a man says, I want the baby, and the woman says, this is my body, my choice. I don't want to have a baby. Should the man be able to retain his parental rights and keep the baby, even though the woman does not want to have the baby?
Yeah, he can adopt his child.
So
Like,
are you
she
saying
can
like a
have the
woman
baby.
should be forced?
I'm not saying she could be forced, but I'm saying like if
That's
he wants
tricky.
a baby, it's definitely tricky. But
So-
I'm saying
so
like
here to iron
she
it
could
out.
have a baby and
What if she says I don't want to mess my body up? You feel me? It's hot
then
girl
that's it.
summer.
That's where the line is at. Like that's where they go. She's not gonna have a baby.
Should
Like-
that be legal?
I mean, yes, it should be legal. He has to say so, but she's carrying the child. So it's like we have a say so, but it's
So-
really.
So
100%
what about
my choice.
what about if a woman is pregnant and a man says I don't want to have that baby, but she has it anyway? Should he be obligated to pay child support?
No,
So-
I would say no.
Nah, hold on.
Whoa. Here we go.
I mean,
Here we go. We in
another
that
side.
thing.
This is
We in
another
that-
side to the coin. Everybody
Yeah.
call the show 937-991-0025. Raven, to your point and what you were talking about, that they don't want blacks to become the majority. Abortions is actually stopping abortions from happening. It's adding blacks to the population at a higher clip
Yes.
than what white people are being born. We're already having more children than
Yes.
white people are. And we're having more abortions per capita
Yes.
than white people are.
So it will reverse.
It's to do white people absolutely no benefit to stop abortions in order to make them more populated.
But
It's
by
just not
proxy,
true.
they would have more white children. I will say that.
Well, of course, because they're not having abortions, but the blacks would still be catching them at a faster rate by stopping abortions as well.
Correct.
So here we go. We got,
I think that's a necessary evil that they're planning to.
what's up, caller? What's your name? Where you calling from?
Tell y'all.
What's up, bro? My name is Hood, calling from ATL Georgia.
Hey!
What's up with it, bro?
Hood, dog.
Man,
Hood
just chilling, bro. What you got for
What
us?
is going on, man, with the murders?
Man, talk to me.
Who had these murders?
What'd you say, bro? One more time. I'm sorry.
I said they want to have these murders. Like, abortion should not be a form of child or birth control.
Right.
I think we all agree on this panel that. I think we all agree on that panel this. I think we can't reduce it to just the extremes, right? So we need to talk about the part that we do agree with. I think we all can agree that nobody likes abortions, right? Nobody on this panel likes abortions, so we can nail that down. Nobody likes abortions.
He said no.
So no, check this out. So I got pregnant the first time,
Well,
right?
wait.
Hold on, Hood Joe. Hold on. We got lemon cake. She about to chop it up. Hold on.
I got pregnant the first time, right? I'm 2 weeks. I find out I'm 2 weeks pregnant. I find out I'm pregnant 2 weeks before I go to Central for my freshman year.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
College.
the dude I was pregnant by, he already at Central playing football. So I tell him I'm pregnant. He tell me straight up I'm not ready to be a dad. So what am I supposed to do? So in my world, I'm about to go live my best life. I'm about to go to this HBCU and I'm about to go explore life.
Yeah.
Because if I would have had this baby by a man that's clearly telling me up front when I'm calling saying I'm pregnant, I'm not ready to be no daddy. So do you want me to struggle or do you want me to go build a better future for myself? Because I'm too cold to struggle.
I want you to do that.
I'm just saying in general.
in general?
Saying, and like, this is a general question. Like, I'm a female, and I'm telling you, this is the scenario.
Right.
So I'm 2 weeks to go to college.
Right.
Just got out of high school. I'm about to go live my best life, not being rude. And so even let's go back. So then you go get an abortion. So then you learn then. That's why I say you gonna get that experience to know, oh, damn, this might be murder. When you go in that little room, you be like, oh, shit, this real.
Right. Okay. Right.
It ain't funny, but no, that's what's going through
right.
your head.
Yeah.
So
When did abortion become an option?
1973.
1973? Because
Yes.
I don't remember, like, it should, I mean, why is this an option?
So you just want
So-
kids
so-
out here not
so-
being
so-
loved? So we gonna have kids out here not being
I have
loved?
an answer.
We gonna have kids out here not being loved?
I have an answer. I have an answer for him. So it really started with the whole faction of Planned Parenthood. Like, this is where eugenics come to take the place in there. And like, that's why the one sister who commented earlier was like, why would they want to stop this if they was eradicating black people? And that I said the same thing to SMED downstairs in the basement for about 20 minutes.
Right.
Of why. Why do they want to stop this? Because there has to be a reason why. They do not want more black people. I swear to God they don't.
They don't.
But I think there are such dire restraints that they will say, at least we're getting something out of our pipeline than nothing. Like if you were pumping water for some Middle Eastern place, they're going to pump water if it's sand in there, and they'll sip the sand out to get the water because they're in that dire restraint to get the water. So I think that is the reason why, and that's only my influence.
For everybody that's
People,
go ahead, bro. What you gonna say?
we had the conversation about the murder, what happens when people murder. I think people are just, because that option is there, they live their life freely knowing that they can do it. You know what I'm saying? If that option wasn't there, you wouldn't be letting just any old dude bust and come all up in you. If you don't want to have a baby, if you fucking, you're gonna have a baby. That's it.
I have a question. So wait. Right now, it is completely legal to go to Washington State and smoke whatever your drug of choice is, right? Mm-hmm. We're not hearing strung out, like people dying from fentanyl overdoses. It's actually a safer practice that is legal to go smoke whatever you want to in that state. So sometimes being able to do things isn't like a normal equation for people who are going to overuse that liberty.
But in this case, it is. Because you know you got that option to go terminate this baby. So you're going to let a nigga come bust all up in you, knowing that you don't fuck with him, knowing he don't even really fuck with you, but y'all fucking, he gets you pregnant, and now it's like, oh.
I want to pause the story. Wait.
I'm going to just have an abortion.
I want to pause you in that story because you're talking about one woman living with the consequences rather than that man that's willfully doing it. There's two people.
Man, too. I'm talking about both of them. The man is responsible, too.
Man, all
I'm
day.
like, you know, so I'm like, if the man knows, listen, if you know, you know, so like if we go back to the basics, all we got to do is go back to the basics. If you know that ain't no abortions, then you're going to be thinking about not doing the act of getting this girl pregnant.
Not necessarily.
Because
some
murder
guys
is
don't
illegal.
care.
Murder is illegal. Niggas get murdered every day. Murder
Not
is
even
illegal.
that though. Some people just don't care. Some guys want to have a child and keep that woman down because just to say like I got a baby with her, like just for the attachment.
Now I believe that is a true
Homosexuals.
statement. Well, people may
Be
want to
like
get
that.
a woman pregnant,
Yes.
in order to just kind of like
Trap
keep her
her.
and control her and trap her. And then women do that to men too.
Yeah, they do.
Agree.
Yeah.
Agree.
You know, it goes both ways, but I think men might even do it a little bit more because they think this woman looks this and that, right? All right, but the point in all of that is you have to be more selective about who you are with.
Yeah.
Like everybody should have this mindset to know that like when you are having sex, man, children come from that. And you should be surprised if you don't get pregnant, not if you do. It's the misuse and the perversion of sex that is making sex so readily available for everybody, and that's why all these unwanted children are happening, because you really don't want the child. You just want the recreation of sex. But it don't work like that. And then people,
is there. That option is there.
it is, but you're not hearing, man, there are plenty of countries that are doing just fine, that abortions have never been legal. People are poor there, and that's just it. Like, you ain't going into none of these overly religious countries and then having abortions. And then for somebody like Raven that's on here saying that women should have rights, period, even if you're against abortions or not. You do got rights, but I don't got the right to go and kill my child after it's pregnant if it's in this woman. So let's just say, for example, I don't want a child. She 6 weeks pregnant, and I go and I push her down and stomp her in her stomach till the baby die. Is that murder?
Yeah, that's murder. You did that on purpose.
Right. It's murder, right? It is murder. You caused a life to be lost. That the woman's fine, but the baby dies. Is it murder? 6 weeks, got a heartbeat. Absolutely. Absolutely. So now, why isn't it murder when she goes and doesn't want the baby and has somebody surgically go in and kill the baby?
I'm going to tell you why.
It's
Willful.
murder,
Wait,
but
wait,
we
wait,
still
wait.
need that option.
I got you, Queen. Wait.
All right, bro.
Wait. I got
Okay,
you.
okay,
Boy.
bro, okay.
Boy. Willful and non-willful. The same way. You could pull a gun out and rob me for $100, or I can give you $100 and you never pay me back. It's willful or non-willful. A person is willfully losing the $100 or willfully losing the baby rather than you actually taking it from me.
But we're talking about y'all are attached with the mother. Y'all keep saying that the mother, it's the mother's decision to kill a life that's inside her that's completely independent of this mother. Like, for example, there is a moderate pro-choice and a moderate pro-life argument, right? The moderate pro-life choice says that a woman can have an abortion up to 24 weeks and it's still legal.
That's crazy.
24 weeks is 6 months old.
That's too long.
So
You can have an abortion for 6 months. So when does it stop though?
Let's start there then.
At what point?
Why we
let's start
can't-
there. Wait. Let's start there then. What term of pregnancy do you feel is comfortable for an abortion?
I would
We can
say,
do
like,
weeks, we can do months, we can do whatever way you want to do it.
I would say 3 months max.
3 months max. So the baby will be half term at this point, correct?
I was gonna give it the 6 weeks, but that's cool.
So is there any so what about that very next week?
Very next week or what?
Such
Over
as
the
okay.
3 months?
Yeah.
Over the 6 weeks?
Yeah. Are
Make
you
the
okay with
decision.
there being a
Grace.
a grace period of another week?
No, we
No,
ain't got
that's
time
it,
to play
right,
with
that's
this.
it.
Like, it's either we gonna do this or we not. And that's not like, I don't mean to sound like I'm not being sensitive to this abortion.
Right.
But
Nah.
what I'm saying is, it's really like that. If you gonna do it, you gonna do it and get it over with. We ain't got time to see if he gonna be a good dad, if he gonna cuddle me at night, and then if he don't show up at night to cuddle me, I'm gonna go get an abortion.
Okay.
No, we not doing that. But like I said, it is certain situations you might need to get this abortion. And then after that, like I said, if you out here fucking and sucking, then yeah, you need to have your kid. Like, I always use myself for instance. My baby came off a little one night stander. You feel me? I didn't give him no option. Do you want this baby or not? I gave myself the option because I felt like I'm not doing no abortion no more. And once you experience that one time, you're done. So
But
I'm
right,
gonna ask a
so listen, but like, so for example, I'm just reading some of these comments, and the comments reading these is important to make people engage. Okay,
Absolutely.
so Chelsea, it says the divide comes from what? Hold on, wait a minute. The divide comes from what people value most when it comes to factor into moral development. For some people, they use morals from religion and emotions like empathy. Others use education, science, law, socialization. People should be able to maintain their options. You do have an option.
Yeah.
The option is to get to know this person before you give your body to this person. And then, look, the person could change on you while you're pregnant, even if you do know them for a year. I don't doubt that. But the chances of you like not knowing this person that you are both seemingly in love with, the abortion total will go down a whole lot because you are actually making a conscious decision to have a child with somebody who cares about you, you care about, and then you guys will actually be happy that you're having a child.
that's
Because
I'm all
that's
realistic.
for
her
that,
decision.
You
though.
gotta
Yeah,
have a
I'm
good.
all for that, meeting somebody and getting to know that. I understand, but let's be real. We meet people everywhere we go. Like the club, like you just said, you have one night stands. Like you
No,
can
no,
get
hold
pregnant.
on, hold on.
Okay,
I
what?
had
You said
one
you had
time.
one night stands. One.
Yeah.
This the drip.
It's the drip. Listen. It's the drip. Listen.
Okay.
You can have one night stand, like, and you get pregnant just off that one time. Like you don't know that person.
I want to pose the question: is birth control 100% effective?
I don't take it. I would suggest nobody take it. I don't. Agree
Let
with
me
it.
tell you about birth control. So this is what they don't. Let me tell you about birth control.
Here we
Birth
go.
control will tear your body up.
For real.
For real.
Here we go.
Like after I had my baby, I got that IUD on my uterus,
Oh, yeah.
and when I say I have these worst cramps of my life, like I can't do nothing.
I seen a
move,
baby
like-
born with it in his hand.
So
Like, how you get that?
All birth control. I had did the Depo shot. I went from cute slender to 220 pounds, and my doctor made me get off the Depo shot because it'll just destroy your body. It mess with your hormones. Then when y'all think girls are crazy or women are crazy, sometimes it's what they injected in their body.
Absolutely.
So
Chelsea Adams, call the show 937-991-0025. Latasha Moore, call the show.
I've never been on it.
You
None
guys,
of it.
the arguments that you guys are saying is like you're saying that it's her body, it's her decision, but I don't think that that's very fair. Number one, to the father of the child, and number two, to the baby that's being carried inside. I mean, I understand that. That's like if you are a landlord, okay, and then you let a tenant move into your house, you can't just go into their house anytime you want to and rummage through and saying, this is your property. This is my property. This is what I'll do with it. No, you let somebody come in willingly, and now they're there, and they have rights too. And the child that's inside a woman, now we got to talk about when you actually consider a life being there, but about after 4 to 6 weeks, the baby's heart starts beating. You really can't have an abortion too much before that, can you? How soon can you have an abortion? It's got to be
like
3
Plan
4
B
weeks.
could be so now we're talking about either abortions or we're talking about like pre-contraceptive, like such as things that will delay your periods to the point where you don't. Well, it'll delay your ovulation period to the point where you don't get pregnant. So is Plan
Right.
B? Is Plan B in this conversation or it's not?
I mean, I'm sticking to abortions for
Okay.
the most part.
Yeah.
But Hood brought up a very interesting point.
I'm gonna tell you
It's you don't supposed to do none of that shit. No birth control is not
Literally.
natural.
Okay, so well, look, I'm so glad he said that, but I want you to finish your point first, and I'm gonna go to what Hood just said. So you go ahead and finish your point,
my point. It was there. Hold on.
because now I can address what he just said.
Go, and then I'm gonna tell you.
So what Hood is saying is basically based off of the Catholic Church. So the Catholic Church position is that it is against all birth control. It is deemed as artificial. That includes birth control pills, a condom, medical procedures such as vasectomies, and sterilization. So if we want to go that far, then we got to go back in the book, and the book says, "Thou shalt not spill thy seed." So that is putting us on the hook too as men, saying that we can't even pull out. Pulling out is a sin.
Right.
Busting on the sheets is a sin. Having anal sex, like the term sodomy, ain't just one way. It is not having sex in the vagina. It's sodomy. So that's oral or anal. So if you're doing any of those acts, that is against the will of God, right? So we want to go that far, Hood. I'm pretty sure you've broken that law in your own life. I'm listening.
He said, no, I'm not.
Put your right hand to God. I promise you.
Let me hit this point if I forget again.
Go
All
ahead.
right, come on.
All right, so listen though, this some real life shit.
There we go.
Some females, if they stop abortion in certain places, these girls gonna end up doing the shit at home by themselves.
That was another
Yeah.
point I was gonna make.
And so they start doing that, then that gets tricky too. And then that whole
Yo,
nother
on
subject.
TikTok.
For real.
Like whole nother.
Well, let me ask you this, though.
I feel like nothing not gonna change though.
So-
In all honesty,
so-
I feel like they
Look, one of
Plan
my points
B.
was, so abortions are going to happen whether they're legal or not. Do we all agree?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Abortions are going to happen whether
They
they're
are-
legal or not.
I
saw
heard
a
a girl
post today. I saw a post today.
Somebody
on-
go find a way.
I saw a post today
Y'all
on.
had a child.
some girl just said all I'm gonna do is get that
Right.
cinnamon.
And then,
Plan B,
okay.
like, they-
I saw a
Let
post-
them happen.
All
Let
right.
them happen, and then they're gonna go to prison for doing it. You're gonna go straight to prison, and I'm sorry to tell you.
Well, then we need to
but
raise better.
Hey,
Are
abortions
women's-
are not illegal in every state.
Women are also victims of abortion. Do you agree to that?
Yes.
Are women also a victim in abortion?
Explain what you mean.
Yeah, I'm
Such
not-
as, okay, like for instance, right? So, when you go to get an abortion done, you know what I'm saying? I've only talked to my third and secondary party. I've never been there before. You are violated in that moment. Like, let's say you were a rape victim. You would now have to relive that moment while also getting your guts sucked out of you. So women are still also a victim, and it's not like it's some place where they go down there and they sipping wine like they getting their feet and nails done. This is not like they're being screamed at by people that are pro-life outside, not knowing the actual pertainings to why you're getting an abortion. What if you were raped by your dad?
Hey, first of all, caller, before you do anything, take a point from Peanut for not shutting up when the phone rang.
Yo.
Hold on, first you heard what I asked you to do.
You gotta get hung up on them.
Take a point from Peanut first. Go ahead, bro. Let me hear it.
He ain't a regular
Damn.
caller. He not a
Take a
regular
point from me.
caller.
Go ahead, bro. What you got?
Sister Mom?
Yeah, you on?
He wants to
Okay, so I'm on the air right now.
Yeah.
Everybody hear me live?
Yeah, what's your name? Where you calling from?
All right, shit, man. But I'm just calling to shout out Sleek Drip. Y'all know who the fuck this is?
Hey, Sweet Jim in the building!
Shouting out Lemon Cake. She
Yeah.
got us in the city. She putting it on with Sleek Drip. She putting the city on. I'm shouting her out. I'm watching her live.
That's hard.
Yeah, that's
hard.
what's up.
I
That's
love
hard.
it.
That's
Who was that?
hard.
That just made my
That's
night.
hard.
Friend of the podcast. Y'all already know what it is.
Yes.
I'm just shouting her out, and I'm out here.
That's hard.
Bro, well, wait a minute, bro. Abortions.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. While we got you on the phone,
Yeah.
hold on, man. You got to get in.
Hey, Sweet,
this
drink your little ass
conversation.
right now. Let's talk about it.
So,
I would've clicked.
bro, abortions. When do you think that a life starts in a woman, bro? Is it at the moment of conception, when the heart starts beating, or when the baby is actually born?
I guess I'd say when the heart starts beating. I mean, inside the womb.
Mm-hmm. And do you think
Yeah.
that once a child has a heartbeat inside a woman, do you think that it's only about the woman's body, or should the child be protected under the law as well?
I know, man. It's a tricky ass question. I called it the wrong time. I don't know. I guess. Look, I'm gonna tell you this. I feel like a woman should have her choice because it's her body, of course. I feel like she just got a little bit of leverage over anybody else's choice because it's her body.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I guess I should really leave it at that, really. I mean, a conversation should happen between the man and the woman, and an agreement should happen, but I do think overall the woman just has a little bit of more leverage because, I mean, it's her body at the end of the day.
What about the baby's body? Is that a body as well?
Now, look, I feel like the decision should be made very quickly at the beginning. I don't think that deep into the heartbeat or deep into, like, the month, I think it's too late then. At the very beginning, I think this decision should be made right when you find out early before anything develops. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I don't know why, but I feel like it's all right around then. But if a heartbeat develops and then something's growing by then and you just prolonging the situation, I feel like it's starting to become a wrong situation then.
Well, let me ask you about a scenario, something like
It's
this.
a tricky one, man.
Let's say that a man and a woman, they're together. You know, they might be together for, let's say, 6 months, and she ends up getting pregnant. And then into the pregnancy, they're together, and then something happens. She catches him cheating after she's 4 months pregnant. Okay? And then the baby has already started to develop a skull and a heartbeat and arms and limbs and everything else. But she said, I can't do this by myself. Is it still her right, her body at that point, 4 or 5 months in, when the baby is actually around? First she was gonna keep it, but now this nigga ain't no good. She want to get rid of the baby.
Nah, sis, you gotta be
Is
big
that-
girl.
Yeah,
I
you
think-
gotta keep it.
I think at that point she needs to have some good
Yeah.
people around her to encourage her to keep that baby. It ain't about the nigga no more being there or not or whatever. The baby's growing. This is the person now. Hopefully there's some good people around you letting you know that you will be okay and you will be just fine as, you know what I'm saying, a mother and your child. You know what I'm saying? It ain't a daddy being there or not being there. You know what I'm saying? Shit. How strong are you? How strong-willed are you? Do you want this baby? Do you? You know what I'm saying? It's about the woman. And hopefully, you know what I'm saying, some good people around her at that point. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it becomes tricky at that point. But like I said, hopefully she got some good people around her.
I think
You just
I'm
feel like we
I'm
shouldn't
like
do it
right
at
on-
all.
Yeah.
I'm like right on line with what he's saying though. I mean, man, hey, thank you for the call, bro. That was an excellent call. I appreciate that, bro.
Thanks, King. So, I
Yeah,
want to know the next question.
Shout out Lemon Cake. I see you, girl.
All right, lemon cake.
So I want to pose a question: is abortion in the black household, is this part of a larger issue,
Like,
such as poverty being an issue, such as
Broken home.
broken homes being an issue, are the contributing factors that make abortion prevalent in the black home more than our counterparts? I'll raise it to the one.
Listen.
But you say, listen, it's that real.
Cause like if I get pregnant right now, if I get pregnant,
Like
right
now.
right now, like we looked at the little stick right now, and it said,
That's all.
Yeah, but you looking at it
Get the baby.
And what happened if you looked at it right now, Lemon Jack? You got a little lemon squeezy on there.
I'm gonna be like,
Driving to Virginia.
now you said we could do it in Ohio, right?
Yeah, we can.
I'm in Ohio.
You know, higher with it.
Nah, being for real, nah. If I was to get pregnant right now, I ain't gonna lie, I'd be salty. One, because after experiencing a kid, I know certain kids only come out 50-50 okay. I'm learning that. Every baby don't come out perfect.
It's a blessing that they all come.
Yeah,
It's a blessing
so
that
we
they
got
come.
that factor that run through my head. As I experienced my kid, death run through my head. And just imagining her gone or just certain freak accidents happening and all this, because I think about the worst sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't want to experience that with another kid.
Right.
So then I got that in my head. Yeah, I might be the drip, but finances is hard.
Right.
I don't want to do this with another kid.
What about your mom? Was she rich when she had you?
See, let me tell you about Bernadette.
No, I'm just asking.
No, I'm just saying.
Was she?
She wasn't rich, but we was cool. You
And
know what
are
I'm
you
saying?
cool?
I'm cool with this one. I know that this one is all that I could be cool with. I know that if I put another within this one, we gonna struggle. But I mean, she brought on my grind. But yeah, I would. But it's I say I waited too late. Because I wasn't ready for no kid anyway when I had the first birth I went on. But then, like I said, 28, all right, you got to get your life together, sis. And the age is a factor, too. By the time you get to your 30 and you have a baby,
Age is a factor when it comes
have
to
that
kids.
baby, sis. You done made it to 30. Stop it. Like, certain age groups, like, come on, like, your early 20s, you still got a little learning to do. But when you get to certain ages, go ahead, be a mom, be great. But know your limit. And that some people don't know their limits, and then they keep having these kids. And I just hate seeing kids that don't have it. So why do we keep bringing these kids in? Like, I would seen the lady at the gas station, these two babies that had no shoes on. So, but you...
Abortions were 23.9% of white deaths and 62.7% of black deaths. So now the point is, are black people being targeted by abortions? Are black people getting abortions marketed to them as a means of birth control? Because what Raven just said on here, and I appreciate Raven for participating,
for sure.
because I love it. But what she's like,
I can pepper the statement what she's talking about.
like, she thinks people should have a choice, but she didn't make that choice. She had her baby.
No. She did make that choice of saying, I'm going to have my baby.
Exactly. She didn't make the choice to abort the baby.
But she still had the choice.
Exactly.
Like, it's a difference between...
No,
Go ahead.
she did have the choice, but she made the right decision.
For her and her family and her...
What makes abortions the wrong decision?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it was the right
the wrong-
decision for me.
You don't know that.
I do.
You don't. Nah.
She is the driver of her own vehicle. She
You
knows.
don't.
I know.
No, you do. You do not know, and none of us know.
So when you cannot say Raven
None
knew...
of us
Hold
know.
on.
None of us
Hold on.
know the consequences of our actions.
So you can't say that
What
Raven made the
happened-
right choice also if you...
She
the-
she had her child, but you can't say if I would have had this child, I would be fucked up right now. I would be broke right now. I would be struggling right now. It's a possibility, but it could have made you say, I would have grinded harder. I would have overcame in spite of that. Like for example, I don't know nobody who was like super rich that had children. Yet I still see all of these beautiful children growing up into being something they got the possibilities, endless possibilities. So just because you broke, it's plenty of broke people who have had great children that have went on to have great lives, man. And you can't just say just because I don't got enough money right now that this child is gonna be like underprivileged in some type of way.
So it's one thing I want to say that's like, okay, so like we have our brothers who are African, right? Like from Africa, right? I have friends, I do business partners that are from Africa. Like, literally, shout out to Sankofa Investment Group. We just literally just passed our 2nd year of our inception, right? My bros who are like my bros, bro, they literally had their kids in their adulthood. I am their bro that had children early. I know what struggle was when it comes to raising kids while I'm still a child myself. I'm literally 16 years old out here trying to like fend for myself. I had 2 kids before I turned 18. Like, you feel me? I graduated with 2 kids in my arms. So I understand the difference between struggling with a child compared to now me having, I had 2 kids 10 years later. So I done been a young adult. I've been adult now, and I see the difference in both of them. And when I see my friends, my other counterparts and my African friends who just had their kids, I see them having a good leap and bound when it comes to being structured. It wasn't me leaving from my mom's house.
According to what though?
Compared to my life.
I mean, that's just your perception of them though.
Wait. Because like you just said before, Raven made the right choice. That was for her life and like her choice. So you can't cross the fence and say, "Oh, that's only for you." Then can't say.
I think not.
Then you can't say that's only for her also. So you cannot.
I think not going and killing a child, a fetus, or whatever you might want to call it, is the right choice, and that's my perception, and that's my right to feel like that. And nobody can strip it away. So I'm like, yeah, you went and had your baby, you made the right choice. That's to me.
But then on the other end, you can't also say that person made the wrong choice if you're saying
by going to murder their child. I think that that's the wrong choice.
But you can't tell her that she didn't make the right choice based off of her choices she had in front of her, not knowing the whole thing. Like, that is so backwards thinking to say, I know for sure you made the right choice. I know for sure you made the wrong choice.
To me.
Okay then, so.
To me.
I feel like she made the right choice. The choice that you make is the right choice. You thought about it. You made a decision. That's the right choice.
The choices you make is the right choice.
That's not true. That's not true. We make bad choices all the time.
To you, man.
But anybody will stand on it and say they've made bad choices.
All right, so listen.
Bad choices are a part of life. So we ain't gonna sit around and act like we don't make bad decisions, bad choices. Bad choices do exist. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
but
is true.
What's going to happen is going to happen. So at the end of the day, it's a bad choice, but you go learn the lesson. You go keep going through it to get over the lesson and make the right choice.
It was already written.
That's what I'm saying.
It was already written. Everything's already happened. It's already written.
I mean,
So
that's
what
only a
choice you make?
philosophy. That is not a fact. That is a philosophy.
That's a fact in my book.
That is not a fact. It's not a fact that everything is already written, unless we wouldn't get up and do any fucking thing.
I don't agree to that. I don't agree to that. I feel
If
like
everything is already written, then why put forth any
Jesus died knowing he was going to die already. Like, we want to go that far. He already knew he was going to die. He knew he was going to die. He already prophesied he was going to die.
That's a
So
philosophy, though, Peanut.
it came to fruition.
It's a philosophy.
It came to
that
fruition.
story that you're telling isn't even a historical fact. It is a religious tale. Now, all of us could believe it, but I'm trying to tell you, bro, it is not like predestination versus will. You don't know which one is right or wrong.
And neither do you, man.
I know I don't, but I'm not saying
You
that I
can't
do.
have definite
I told you
answers.
it wasn't a fact.
To
And
you,
I'm right.
I'm allowed to believe whatever I would like to
You
believe.
can
The same way
believe
you
it.
can.
You can believe it. You can believe it, but it's not a fact. So the right thing for you to say is, to me.
You just factually said.
I said to me.
So listen.
You just
I
said
said
matter of
to me.
factly that she made the right choice to you.
To me.
Okay then, so I can say whatever I want to say to me.
You can, right.
And then you can't refute and say,
right.
and then you can
Just
refute and
make
say,
it-
no,
make
it's
it
not
right.
fact.
The right.
Y'all know I'm feeling my drink. I'm about to forget my point. Wait a minute. Damn.
This is my brother.
I know, but y'all know I be like, then y'all get to me and I be like looking stuck on camera like, I forgot. So, what happened if the place, right? Because this happened to me.
Okay.
So what happened if you realize you making the wrong decision.
Okay.
Because I realized I was making the wrong decision. Because you know when you get abortions, they make you go in there for 2 days.
Take a point from Peanut.
So,
Let's listen to the rest of this story. I promise you, I know the ending.
no, I'm just saying.
Said I was making a bad decision.
So, the first day they got you coming in, watch your little videos, trying to get you, you know, do. The second day, your actual procedure. So, the day I had my actual procedure, my mom with me my first day. My mom and my aunt rock with me my first day. The second day, my mom had to go to work. I'm with my auntie. Yo, can't nobody go with you upstairs. You by yourself. You walk into the room, you see all this shit, right? I went downstairs. I told the lady, like, hold on, give me a second. I snuck downstairs to my auntie. I told my auntie, I don't want to do this no more. I'm cool. Like, I'm cool on this. They called my mom. My mom came from work, everything. They wouldn't give my mom her money back. So that's the only reason for real why I went through with it. Because they told my mama they wouldn't give her none of her money back. And she had already paid.
So, like I said before, abortion being a part of a bigger issue.
That's some wicked fucking bullshit, though. Like, how the fuck you gon' like, even if they wasn't gonna give your money back, once you decided to say, I don't want to have this, they shouldn't have, even if they didn't give you your money back, they should not have performed the procedure. Because your consciousness had kicked in at that point, and they fucking did that shit any fucking way. Right. Because the point in eugenics and abortions for brothers and sisters is to kill and murder as many black people as possible before we even become born. 62.7 black deaths take place before the child is even born.
So then why would they reverse that knowing it's being so successful of eradicating black people? It doesn't make sense why they would do that unless there is some bigger pie in the sky for them. And like I said before, was abortion being part of a bigger issue, such as monetarily wise. Feel me? It'll be a complete wash.
Shout out to Carrie Ivy that's just checked in saying what's good. Miss T RBM said it's not a fact. It's just something for us to believe in. Chelsea Adams said the only thing that will happen now is instead of this being done in a safe way, it will be in a dangerous, more desperate way.
That's what my mom said.
They're gonna have these ladies out here
so
trying to perform abortions.
What about if men had this idea to say, oh man, I can't just go and kill this baby, so now I'm gonna have to sneak and do it in a more desperate, sneaky way.
I don't think it would be like that though. I think guys would just kill a baby. It wouldn't be a conversation.
No.
Guys aren't just killing the babies though. The guys have to go through the same thing. They don't have to carry the baby. But once they get a woman pregnant, they are at the will of the mother's decision with this baby, whether she wants to have the child or not. Like, if she don't want to have it, she can just go and kill the baby, even though the man is begging her not to. And that's okay.
I want to ask a question.
Is that okay? You answer that question. Is that okay to you?
Is what okay?
Why do you want me to grow this attachment to something that I don't like? When you get birth, like when you carry this baby, this is an attachment now. So you want me to carry this baby and I don't have no attachment to it as the father?
Give the baby to the husband.
But you want me to walk around 9 months? Like it's that simple? Give it to the husband?
But we have to have at least some responsibility for our actions, though. Like that's what happens when you do that. Like, for example, if you go into somewhere and you steal and you get caught, there is a result and a consequence for that happening. Unfortunately, when you are having sex and it's recreational and you don't care about the person that you're having sex with, a child could come. That's just part of the consequence. But then you double down on the bad thing by going and actually murdering your own child. Murdering your own child and saying, it's my choice, it's my body. Meanwhile, they sucking a baby out of you with a damn vacuum cleaner. The baby's arms being ripped limb from limb out of the womb of his mother. What? Okay, after God done gave you a baby, my daughter just now had a baby, man. Do you know how beautiful and precious a brand new baby is? Holding it in your arms, I don't care if the baby has a deformity or if the baby has some type of problem.
I don't think that if I had another baby, I would have that precious. Like, some people have kids and they might not have that. Like, I have it for her and I love her, but if I had another baby right now, I don't think I would have that. So that's why I be careful. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like you don't like, because people got mental health issues. It's a lot of stuff going on in people's mental. So you might be in your mental mind capable to make these decisions, but in somebody else's mental mind, they might not be capable to handle a kid. A kid is a lot. Life is a lot.
I would like to add this, right? Being forced to live by other people's standards is a very, very slippery slope, right? We have a separation of church and state for a reason, because some of those stuff is things that if we revisit some of these things, we're going to be revamping this whole thing. Because imagine this, right? Imagine this was flipped on top of the dudes. So like imagine they mandated saying every time a man has sex is meant to make a baby. If you make a baby without the intention of having a baby, and you do this willfully, now we're going to castrate you. Now you can no longer have babies anymore. You can no longer do this. No more of this precious baby being put aside this thing, being ripped limb to limb. It starts and ends with you, son. You are the guider of these women. You have the choice of not having this. You can have a vasectomy. You can literally have all the sex you want to without your nuts working. And then now we're no longer demonizing these women based off of them having to make a choice based off a choice you could have made previously.
Who's demonizing women though? I don't get the demonization of women.
When you're saying women are murderers, women are murderers.
Men are complicit in the murders.
Okay, but wait. So what I'm saying is, men could get a vasectomy, and this argument doesn't happen. There's no abortion needs to happen if you have a vasectomy.
But why would a man have a vasectomy or a woman or what? Listen though. Listen, bro. What you want to do is you want to get around the responsibility of sex, and so does everybody else. Like Rocky Turner said, stop fucking if you don't want to have a child. There's the for real solution.
We've already stated that earlier in the...
But there's no reason to go past that though.
2 minutes. We said at the start. So let's go past this part. I understand that. We already established that part.
I know that.
We already said establish the part where like you're meeting people, reiterated the proper steps before you have sex with them.
What you're doing is you're breaking up some weird scenario that has no comparison.
It's equally as barbaric as telling a woman what to do with her body. It's equally as barbaric.
Like telling her, what about the baby? You keep talking about her body, bro. What about the baby?
The baby starts in our nuts first.
But what about the baby inside of her body?
What about the nut that comes out of nut first? We are first.
Right.
We are
first. The baby.
We could literally stop having babies.
But you want to have babies,
period.
Men that don't want to have babies.
Men could literally stop this whole debacle.
Men that don't want to have babies have vasectomies.
We don't need laws to govern women. We need men to control themselves.
They are controlling themselves.
No, they're not if you're having illegitimate children all the time.
How you can control yourself when you want a girl out here and like... These girls, they dressing. Y'all see how they dressing now? Ass out, titties out, all that.
The whole, every Facebook story is a solicitation.
Everywhere you go.
Every last Facebook story I see is a woman soliciting nonstop. Yes, it's your body, but what about the baby inside your body that you willingly let get put there? The man and the woman. The man and the woman put a baby there.
The man put the baby in the woman.
The woman co-created the baby with her egg. What are you talking about?
The man puts the baby in the woman. Only part
it's a co-creation.
The man puts the baby in the woman. Is the man being raped? Because I promise you the man put the baby in the woman.
No, the man puts a sperm in the woman, and then it meets with an egg, and then a baby is formed.
Okay.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is it starts.
So if the man put the baby in the woman, if the man put the baby in the woman, then why he don't got no say so whether this child is being born or not?
He does
she
by
accepted
him.
It.
He does if he's not being raped. If he is not being raped, he has a say so in who he puts his penis in.
Right. But he don't have no say so whether that child is going to be born.
Okay, so what happened if
he
this? You got, I'm pregnant. I said I don't want the baby. You say you want the baby.
Right.
So I said I'm pregnant. I'm miserable pregnant.
Yeah.
And you say you want this baby.
Right.
Then one day you wake up like, shit, this shit might be a little harder than I thought. I'm out. What am I
Why
supposed
she
to do
still
when I been
pregnant?
said I ain't want this baby?
Why she still pregnant?
Yeah. What am I
Hey,
supposed to do when you did?
That's a fucked up situation, and then the man will have all kind of karmatic judgment for that shit. I don't know. But the
you
problem,
want me to take that 50-50 chance?
The problem is, and this is for women. This is for women, and this is for men. You guys are coming together to co-create children when you are having sex, because right now the law is the law. So all of this wishful thinking and trying to get this and get that together, what you must do now is, man, get to know somebody before you just get to fucking. And have a baby or have sex with somebody that care about you for real. Because if you don't, then you may not be able to have no abortion. You know what's on the table. You know how this shit is. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, we all gotta face shit that we don't think is fair all the time. But you have to be able to accept and adapt to the situation that you're in. And here's a man, like, don't nobody give a fuck about the babies damn near. It's like, this is the woman's body and this and that, and the man get to go run off scot-free. That shit ain't cool.
I ain't gonna lie.
Any
I
man that
really
gets
never-
to go,
You're not ready. Like, I feel like a baby is a blessing, but it don't make a situation better. And I feel like a lot of people feel like it make a situation better. It does not.
And I ain't
I
never
don't
thought
think that it
about
makes a situation
a
necessarily
baby.
better.
Like, when you young and you get an abortion, I don't think you really think about the baby.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think even now when you have an abortion, you really think like, I mean, yeah, when it's father-in-law, you thinking, but when you first find out you're pregnant, you don't think no baby, because when they show you that little picture, it's a little seed.
Right.
So you really don't think like a baby. You either think this is a situation, either we gonna rock with this situation, or I really need to get rid of this situation. And that's real life.
One of the further things that we need to think about is government having their business and out, like, in your body. Like, for instance, what if they said, for instance, this is law, right? We're talking about law. These are things that are being literally infringed by somebody else telling you when God gave you free will to do whatever you want to. What if they say, if you behind on child support, then we castrate you? It's the law. You're being, like, so we need to stop being so stuck to what men do. Like, if I'm not saying I'm with the whole like whatever, but whatever you do behind closed doors between you and whoever your creator is, I'm not here to judge you, tell you what to do. Like, who the hell am I? Who the hell am I?
You don't judge.
Well, I'm not. Bro,
You don't
I
judge
swear,
actions.
who am I to sit back on this pompous ass mountain to tell you what you should be doing with your body? It's nuts when you cannot turn that same mirror around for yourself. Let somebody tell you to go get a vaccine.
I don't like that murder.
Let somebody tell you to go get a vaccine.
Well,
You can ask 101 questions before you go take it. So
Right.
if you are that control and govern your own body, you should have that same reverence for our women counterparts. My only point.
and my point to say this, I'm not the one that's in front of the abortion clinics trying to stop abortions from happening.
Right.
But my observation of the act of an abortion, I feel that it is wrong in a lot of cases. But if a woman is raped, if incest is happening through rape, if the woman is sick or the baby is so sick and
Right.
ill that she won't be able to take care of it, these are all reasonable reasons why I could understand a woman saying, look, this is too much for me.
I agree.
But you recklessly, man and woman, recklessly fucking with somebody that you don't know, then you make a decision to kill the baby that happens. I think that that's wrong.
Right.
And I'm not trying to tell any woman what to do with her body, but a woman can't tell me what to think. And a man can't tell me what to think.
Agree.
And can't nobody, like, infringe on my own viewpoint and perspective of life. And I'll take it a step further. My viewpoint of anybody who disagrees with me about this, I don't think that you are to the conscious level that you are going to eventually get to. Because you would have to look at that and say, damn, you know what? Killing a baby just because it's inside of a body, like, it ain't right. You have to consider the right, because what's stopping somebody from killing a baby that's 9 months old? Like, do you stop there?
I want to ask a question, right? So, rules is what I like to go back to. Rules and some of the laws that like we govern, right? Let's look at cars, for example, right? There's probably no speed limit in the U.S. that is above probably 75 miles an hour. We got cars that can go 200 miles an hour.
How can a woman, like, Raven is on here talking about a woman, like, first of all, look, I love women. I think women are God. Hold on, wait. Look, a woman shouldn't be judged on what she do, period. What type of
Period, 'cause I've been real
foolishness is
nigga.
that?
That you have an abortion, you shouldn't be judged for that. She said that it shouldn't
But
be like
a woman shouldn't be judged on what she does, period. So a woman can run up and down the street, passing out diseases, and like a man should be judged on what he does. A woman should be judged on what they do, not them. We're not judging the woman, but we are judging these particular actions. And if anybody does these things, including me, we deem these things to be unacceptable. Like, some things is fucking wrong, man. You know, I mean,
It's wrong.
according to my perspective. A woman shouldn't be judged on what she do. So what about if a woman come in here and just shoot all of us and murder us down? Should she be judged for that?
Okay, so say a couple.
Should a woman be judged for committing murder? Not of her baby, but
Yeah,
just
she come in here and shoot us. But what I'm saying is,
But how
you know,
can-
after that abortion, guess what? God still love me. You love me still after that abortion?
Yeah,
All right then.
yeah.
Okay, so say like a couple agree that they wanted to have a baby.
Huh?
Say a couple agree that they wanted to have a baby. They got pregnant. They having a baby. Say they get into a car accident and like her inside's messed up, where she gotta have surgery to get the baby taken out.
Yeah.
So how would that's still wrong?
That still
again
falls
now?
under the umbrella that like he was talking about earlier, where
The
like he
sickness.
was saying like the safety of the mom or the safety of the baby, or if there was some type of tomfoolery.
Anything
that
a
happened.
woman don't expect,
Yeah.
man. It damn near like,
Yeah.
getting raped. Hell no, you don't gotta have that baby. Incest.
But that's what I'm saying though. The option is taken away.
So.
Right, but that's not right.
I want to part to the question because
That's not right to me.
I had it in my notes. I want to ask. So, what about multiple situations, such as let's say you may have, because there's always an exception to the rule, right? Like you will have somebody who was underage, right, who has an abortion in that part of her life. Later on in life, she's raped,
Joe.
right? It happens, right? Should you be allowed to have multiple like abortions?
You get one. Didn't I tell you? In the
What
beginning?
if you have two instances where you were wrongly accosted?
Yeah.
I think wrongly, if you get raped twice, you can have 2 abortions.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But
I'm gonna-
listen, but the point that I'm saying is this: how many abortions should a woman have just because she fucked up and don't like this dude no more?
One.
Abortion should not be a form of
Birth control.
birth control. I agree with that.
Yeah.
How many should she be able to have then?
I feel like it's a woman's choice, and I think it's a case by case basis.
I like that.
Good
For
answer.
real, because it's really
Right,
like that.
reaching,
No, it is,
Hoodro. Reaching. That's all the abortion argument
I ain't
is
gonna
a
lie.
bunch of reaching.
Who I had an
That shit
abortion with at
reaching.
first, I look at him now and I look back and like, damn, he's successful. He a painter. He an artist. He doing it.
Right.
And then I look at who I had a baby with. You feel me?
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang, they didn't rob that from me because I said, hold on, give my mommy her money back.
Right.
So I do feel like that sometimes, like just because you know you might be killing the best thing, or you never know what that man potential is going to be.
Yeah.
Man,
Because
thank
he-
you.
So we also want to raise like
Give
so.
me a point, Peanut.
It's
Wait,
just
wait.
to
I'm
its
gonna throw
own.
the backboard for you to dunk again. So,
Come
so like I said, I'm only the moderator here, and literally, we looked at numbers earlier today, and they said that over 100,000 to 200,000 people die from illicit abortions. How do you guys feel about that? This is secondary places, not going to a referred place. You're going to a secondary place. You're going to DR. You're going to a different place to get same place where you get like a cosmetic surgery done. How do you guys feel about that and
Rock.
the uptick that may
I
arise
don't.
from that?
Rock.
Go somewhere
All
you
day.
know.
I don't like it.
All
I
day.
don't
Go
respect
somewhere you
it.
know.
I actually experienced some shit like that before.
Talk
My
about
niece, had an abortion in my living room.
What?
Her life, she went and got some pill that damn near took her out, like experiencing death in my living room, and I did not like that at all. Like,
She took a pill that. Did the offset say that? So I mean,
and I feel like
why
you,
would outlawing
She didn't tell
abortions?
nobody
This is my girl
Nah,
Don checked in, man.
what y'all done?
what she was
Don
doing,
said
but I ain't never
wait,
seen
wait,
somebody taking a pill
outlawing
like that.
abortions
One
will
mic, one
lead
mic.
to that.
What?
That's what I'm saying.
I'll-
You take
so-
that away.
So there are natural. I'm not gonna give it out here on the podcast, but there are natural ways of inducing a early term.
I just said
No.
it on here.
Wait. I want to raise this because it's a fact of they will be
Don't
charging
do
people
that
who have long term babies that die. You could be like potentially done. Like you could be prosecuted without knowing you did this. There's certain fruits out there that are readily available that you could be eating unbeknownst. And you can have a miscarriage. And with this new regime, after Roe versus Wade, you could potentially be prosecuted based off you eating the wrong fruits. How do y'all feel about that? Because there's also the second hand of this. It's not just, okay, we're outlawing this. It's now if you have any type of miscarriage, it's going to be investigated as a murder.
Cause I'm eating her
Forensic
wrong
files
fruit.
going to be there. Yes, it's going to happen.
I ain't got time.
I'm supposed to eat.
They're going to check your phone to see if you Googling things.
I
that
feel like if
potentially
the government want these women to have these babies, they need to make it a little bit more easier when they ask for food stamps, a little bit more easier for Medicaid, a little bit more easier for people to take care source. Look, doctors don't even take care source hardly no more. But you want these women to have these babies. So we having these kids, but we can't provide. Not saying I can provide. So what I'm saying is,
So let me tell you what my dad said about this whole provide thing, right? So my dad said, I love my dad to death, man. Hey, shout out to my dad, right? He said, my dad said that if you can't afford to have kids, you can't afford to have sex. Shout out to my dad. He the GOAT. He the GOAT. He the GOAT.
He's right.
If you cannot afford to have kids, you cannot afford to have sex.
when you experience a kid, sex is not important. Like, once you go ahead and experience that, you will learn. If you don't want to have another kid, go on, bruh. Like, go on about your life.
Absolutely.
You know how to curve so fast.
Yeah.
And I think my curve is so easy now because I don't want another kid. And birth control not where it's at. So, once you experience your curve.
It's so many unwanted kids now, like,
It
but
is.
I mean, this is a comment, man. Jermaine Exits, what's up with you, bro?
That's
So
the
many
bro.
unwanted kids
That's
now.
the bro.
Don
And he
Turner
worked at
checked
and
in.
he work at a school. And he work at a school.
But do y'all feel like that's gonna change anything? Like, I feel like since it's not abortion, it's not legal no more. I feel
Abortion
like
still gonna happen.
I understand that, but I'm saying like mothers, like parents,
What?
they not go like their kid. Like, I didn't want you. It's
That's
not gonna
hard.
be
I know
good.
people that's alive that heard their parents say that.
Yeah, like, I don't want you. I didn't want to have you. People, they take kids that for real.
Right.
It's,
So Jason and Raven are saying that the leading cause of death of pregnant women is murder. So now are women supposed? I mean, what can just expand on that point? And I just want to know, what is that supposed to mean? Like, women should go and abort their babies out of fear that the man they got pregnant by is going to kill them. So abort the baby just to make sure that he don't.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the point behind that? And
Everybody
then I'll
call
wait
in.
for you guys. And don't feel free to call in and listen.
So-
and expand on your point.
So
Rocky.
let's laugh while they get that together, right?
That's a bar, Peanut. Ease just checked in and said that that's a bar.
Oh,
And
yeah.
shout out to Rocky Turner because he been really contributing to the
For
conversation.
Sure. So look, while
said-
they got that information, I want to ask a silly ass question. This is for me and my friends in my group chat, right? Is it toxic to unfriend a chick that just got pregnant?
No, bye.
Is it toxic as a man? Like, if you was courting a female and then you like, man, you feel like you took her a couple dates and then out of nowhere you look on there and she's like, I'm 3 weeks pregnant. You like, man, is it toxic to unfriend a female that just got pregnant?
now that ain't toxic.
No,
That's being
I wanna
safe.
see it, bye.
I mean, and why would I want to go in and screw up her family? Like, that's damn near, what's it called? What's it called when a woman go in and mess up a home record?
Home record.
Like, let her go ahead and establish that relationship with whoever got her pregnant without
Right.
no interference from
What
somebody.
is terrible for just like unfriend them? Like would a woman feel bad if a nigga just unfriend them because you got pregnant?
I'll be like, well, damn.
Yeah, see, I was the other side.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Give me these 9 months. No, I'm just playing.
Ain't no reason to talk to her no more.
Man, he live by the book. He don't have fun. Okay, then.
She was besties, like she was besties.
He over here. No.
She was pregnant, like nah.
Talk to me.
Yo.
What's good?
Boy.
Who we got?
This J Money. What's up, Jay?
Boy, J Money.
J Money.
Nah, I was just playing. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy, Jason SMED, calling straight in from the 205. Thanks to T-Shirt Kings.
Yeah.
First of all, I want to shout out T-Shirt Kings and go for your mouth. Everybody come through. Get those from me, your boy.
Yeah.
And we got starting off at like 375.
There you go.
You guys, man.
I like
You guys
this
want
kid.
to go to summer beaches and then the house parties. I know how you guys love house parties.
Now, hold on, stop.
I know you
Hold on,
guys
stop.
love
Let me tell you guys something. This is my argument against abortion right
Here we
now.
go.
This is my son
Yeah.
calling in, doing better than what I did, promoting our business as a family business, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, just think if I would have aborted him.
Oh!
Yeah.
Slam money get gay.
Me and his, think about if I would have, think about if me and his mom would have had this young kid. Nobody would have known about our specials
I'm about to call my
tonight.
son.
Yeah, man. Love you, son, bro. You proved my point. But go ahead, son. What you got?
Oh man. Okay, that was a good one. That was nice.
Yeah.
I can't take that away.
That was hard.
Sure.
Okay, all I have to say as far as this argument that I've seen also, something that I've seen on Twitter. I've seen Twitter been blowing up lately.
Okay.
Behind the Roe versus Wade, man. I've just been seeing a lot of different women speak out against it for real. And one of them struck me for real. And I don't know. I seen it today, and this man's kind of sitting on me. And it was the leading cause of death of pregnant women is murder.
Damn.
And I think that just is a testament to, and it says something else like that. This decision is so bad because it's like the boyfriends and husbands are probably gonna be murdering these women if they feel like they can't have this baby, and that's already been before the law hasn't been what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is that there is like an inherent fear of men that women have, and not only grown enough women to have babies have the ability to look up this fact or even be able to see it. It's out there. They can Google it. Like, people could tell them that. Like, it's a lot of different ways, like, that could inherently mess up a woman. But, she got this sexual organ down there that everybody has, and they gonna use it. Everybody gonna use their sexual organ, and people live to be around people. And, like, sex, man, no matter how it's looked at, different cultures, sex is looked at in different ways, for real. And, like, babies come out of that. And, anything could be taboo. Not like the different cultures, for real. And as far as, like, abortions go, man, I've been listening to this whole argument this whole time. And, like, I don't think abortions are always all wrong. I feel like it's case by case. But at the same time, when y'all ask the question about how many abortions a woman could get, I feel like somebody shouldn't get more than 2 abortions. More than 2, you doing too much. Mm-hmm. That's just me. Like, I almost damn near say more than 1, but I give it 2. I give it 2.
That's your son.
2. Yeah.
Buy one, get one free.
Kill a couple of them, and then after that, that's too much. But Jay, listen, if it's not wrong, then why stop at 2?
People make
Because,
mistakes.
man, motherfuckers can't just keep making mistakes.
But is having an abortion a mistake?
Yeah.
Hey, what?
Is having an abortion a mistake? Because I want to know, like, man, if it ain't nothing wrong with it,
I'm gonna
what's
say,
stopping
not
us
having an
from
abortion is a
continuing
mistake,
to do it
but
as much
getting
as we
pregnant
want to?
might be the mistake.
So there was a whole campaign on
the show right now. This sister had a hindsight where she felt like that she had an abortion by a man, and in which he doing well along for himself now, and she almost like but and now she got a child by a man who, you feel me? She love her child or whatever, but she might feel some sort of way about her now, baby daddy. You know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, everybody hindsight different, and I think everybody is different. So that it always depends on case by case. Man, we live in a world now where damn gay rights is damn like motherfuckers is not damning and demeaning men and women from getting married. That's telling them what they doing with their bodies. And but when it comes to like the way that we overpopulate in the earth and things like that, they want to do that. They want to pass this law right before we about to go into a recession. Everybody, it ain't no milk on the shelf. Everybody can't breastfeed. You know what I'm saying? And everybody should have an option. That one little argument earlier about
But bro, like I hear you, bro, but there ain't no milk on the shelves, man. Like everybody. Well, but I hear you. I do hear you. Everybody can't breastfeed. Okay, but damn, the milk on the shelves is some shit that just started like 3 months ago. Like. I don't think that's a viable argument to basically give an abortion. Like you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, it ain't even no milk on the shelf, so let's just have some abortions. Like, bro, this is a raging topic that's been going on for decades, man. So about whether abortions are right and wrong, and to use milk on the shelf right now as a supply chain issue.
I want to ask a question about that too.
Come on, what's up?
He kind of just threw it out the backboard to me. So
the argument behind the milk on the shelf is only just is like being more amplified by the fact that why would y'all even make this decision? Like,
and we're saying everybody can't breastfeed.
Well,
like.
And why can't women breastfeed? What happened before Similac was even available? Because there was a point in time where Similac wasn't even invented.
So let me combine that with what I want to ask.
They were making it, but still.
They were making it. Thank you. That's exactly what was happening.
So I want to ask them: is government assistance enough to raise a child nowadays?
No. Milk out, and it's toxic milk.
Ask him that.
Like,
is government
there's so many different scientific studies about different things.
The government don't want to give you shit. We want you to have a damn baby.
The society has progressed, so people and eating habits and everything have changed, and there's different chemicals in our foods that's probably not good to give to our kids out the gate. Like our kids should probably be getting more fat nowadays.
So when a woman finds out she's pregnant, who's controlling her diet? She is.
That baby
and she's in control.
That baby
a mother has the control over what she's putting in her body to make her milk flow in more healthy choices for her baby. Like, some of this stuff is accountability. But Jay, I think that you did a wonderful job, man, of building your points, man. You know, like, and everything that you said, I can understand where you're coming from.
Ask about government assistance real quick.
Jay, he said, P said, "What's up? Is government assistance enough to raise a child on nowadays?"
Nowadays, what was
government assistance?
Such as if you raise a child.
He ain't on no government assistance. He don't.
No. They got a perspective though, like just based off of
still working minimum wage jobs. They expect to get by. So how much more is the government going to give you for nothing?
So are you saying off of minimum wage and government assistance, that's okay to raise a child off of that you think can produce into
Tina Carter Show 937-991-0025. We just busted 100 comments, which is pretty good.
I missed that last part of I'm sorry.
So what I'm saying is, like, do you think like there's enough resources for children right now if you was on government assistance or you were working just a 9 to 5 job?
Moore said not at all, P.
Okay.
It's not
enough. Okay.
If you're a good parent, it's not.
Not even enough to you feel me, to them they're living out, and you feel me, pay people rent. You know what I'm saying? People be striving for other jobs.
Right.
Like and she want to be in dance.
Okay.
Right.
Not even activities. They give you the bare minimum.
Jay, hey, let
don't go to a Catholic school.
Let me ask you this, and then I'm gonna let you go. Okay.
We ain't getting no name.
Does the man and the woman have any responsibility at all when conceiving a child,
There we
or
go.
if they do conceive a child and they have an abortion, it's all good and there's nothing to be said about it. Nobody should even look at it weird in any way. Let me give you a better example.
It's
What
on
about
in.
what about if two people are doing well, both got money, both of them are established, they've been living together and they love each other? Should that couple have an abortion or just say no?
Am I in my
Anybody
prime?
can have an abortion that wants to.
Depend if they
That's
been
a great
ready.
question.
choice, but I got even a little better for you. I got a little better answer for. Well, a question.
Mm-hmm.
How were they parented? How were those two people
Smart
Wonderful.
man. Yeah.
Good.
Ideal.
parented wonderfully?
Ideal parenting, both of them. Double parent household, both of them. They just both said they got
Not right
pregnant. They got pregnant, and then 5 months into the pregnancy, they looked at each other and they said, "You know what?
Why you be going? You be going
He
too.
had to.
You be doing the most
He
with
thought
your
about it.
scenarios.
I'm
These
telling
5
you,
months
guys,
though.
These are legal abortions,
He
though.
said deep,
Yeah.
deep.
These are legal. You can have an abortion up to 24 weeks pregnant. So I didn't even take it to the 6 months. I took it to the 5 months. They decide. Hey man, we want to travel a little bit more.
No.
We want to do what we do. We ain't ready for no baby. Jay, fair or foul to go in and get it cooking? Cook the baby. Vacuum his suck him out. Raven, go ahead, Raven. Raven, let me hear you one time in your life say the real truth that abortion is wrong. 5 months in.
Wait, before I answer Raven, wait. Before Raven answers, I just want you to say clearly, is this a yes or no? Like, is this a right or wrong question? Like,
No, everything is perspective, son. I want to know your perspective on this.
Okay, all right. Here comes my better half, Raven.
Smart
Everybody
man.
give it up to Raven.
It shouldn't. I just feel like it should not. It's up to that woman. It's a lot of men. Men don't know how a woman truly, is when she's pregnant, or like just woman. Period. It's a lot of men talking or wanting opinions on this, and it's like it's not even a yes or no question. Answer, because it's up to that woman. It shouldn't. It's not up to me. It's not up to me. It's her decision. It's like her decision.
What about
Like
the
that-
women that kill their
So
kids?
what I'm asking you, what about if a woman has a baby, and I'm talking about the first day she has him, like at a high school, and then she just throws the baby in the dumpster? Is that okay?
A prom night dumpster baby. Okay, all right. Is that
I'm like dumpster babies. Okay.
Yeah, bro.
No, I'm asking you, is the night that she has the baby,
Like,
the night she has the baby?
That's not okay.
We
Huh?
all
No, not okay. Is a 9-month abortion okay?
No.
Is a 9-month abortion?
you better off
About these
having it.
foster kid children.
Ray, hold on, wait a minute.
8
Ray,
months, 29
Ray,
days.
right now I just want to ask you just questions and then give me short answers real quick.
Not short
All right.
answers.
Well, I'm just asking you, 9 months old, a 9-month-old baby still inside the mother. Is it her choice or no? That's too late in the pregnancy.
Too late.
You can't get an abortion at 9 months, can you?
I'm asking you, if it was legal, would you do it? Yes or no?
No,
7 months?
you can't.
7 months?
7 months. I don't think you can in 7 months either.
You can at 24 weeks, and that's 6 months. Is that okay? The baby has a 50% survival rate at this point. If they was to just bring the baby out of the mother, 6 months.
Didn't wait that long, but it's up to that. It's up to that mother.
But I'm asking you, how do you think about it? I know that it's up to the mother, but do you think that it's wrong?
Like, this is me speaking.
Do you think that it's wrong?
Unfertile.
Do you think that it's wrong?
With me, I personally wouldn't do it.
Do you? Why wouldn't you do it? Why wouldn't you do it?
Mother's situation.
Why wouldn't you do it?
What that mother's going through.
Why wouldn't you do it?
I wouldn't do it because I just wouldn't do it. Who knows what I'll be going through around that time?
Because it's your choice. It's the answer. Because it's your choice.
Raven, you know what?
Raven.
You a politician. I want you to run for any type of political office because you won't say the real answer. And the real answer is, Raven, and it's okay for this. Your perspective is it's wrong for a woman to have an abortion when she is 6 months in. And that's okay, Raven. But the problem is this is why nothing can get fixed or no compromise can be made. Because I'm willing to concede the fact that if a woman is raped, if her life is in danger, or any of these other things that anybody else always says, I agree with you. It's wrong. But I also think that it's wrong for somebody to just say, I want to travel more. I'm about to kill this baby. It's in my body. I can do it and it's legal. Slavery was legal for a long time, was it not? Was that wrong, Raven? Was it wrong when slavery was legal, Ray? Yay or nay? And that's a bar.
Let's talk about
Ray, yes or nay? Was slavery wrong?
Slavery different than having a baby.
Was slavery wrong?
They are killing
When it was legal?
But that's different. It's about bringing another person into a life.
So I would like to
Okay, all right, y'all. We're gonna let y'all go. But one thing that I did want to say, and Raven, thank you for basically contributing the whole podcast,
sure.
man. You guys make sure y'all keep commenting, and if y'all want to call back about something Peanut says is wrong, or something that Jay said is wrong, or Lemon Cake said is wrong, feel free.
Y'all now on the chopping block with me. I agree with y'all.
And I've been following up with him, giving him a couple points.
So wait.
Nah, Cake, you been right all day.
Do you guys realize that abortion?
Oh, we jumping, Pete. Go ahead.
Abortion is not only secular to humans. There are abortions in the animal kingdom as well.
Shut the fuck up, Peanut.
We got.
I swear to
All
God.
right, what's up?
swear to God.
We don't do
What's up?
commercials.
What's up? What's your name? Where you calling from?
I've been on here for 2 hours. It's about to be drink champs
We got
in here.
Don Turner in this thing.
Nah, let's go.
What's up with you, Queen? Come on. What you got for us?
Because I just feel like, I'm not just like, I don't feel like abortion is a form of birth control, but everybody ain't meant to be mothers and everybody ain't meant to be fathers. Everybody don't want this option. And what about the people that get pregnant, have these kids and say, okay, I'm going to give it up for abortion, I'm going to give it up for adoption, but by the time they had a baby, they throw the baby in a trash can. Like, mental health is real. It's real. And these situations change the circumstances. So I think that case by case, it has to be taken case by case. It shouldn't be used as birth control, trust me. But, you just can't say that abortion, women shouldn't have options.
Okay, and then how far should these options extend, though, Don? Like, should they extend 7? Not 7 months. That's too much, right? Is that too much, Don?
Yeah, I had my baby at 7 months, so that's
all right. So what about when does the baby actually develop the limbs, Don?
I'm not exactly sure. Now, I'm not going to sit here with
you. Can we research it? Baby, when do babies get their legs?
I want to say the second trimester.
Research it. You tell me.
All right, we're going to look it up. But
I
if
feel
a
like
baby
first
has legs,
trimester,
is that too
we can
late
get
to be
the
doing
abortion.
something like that, Don? Or what you think?
Let me see. I had a miscarriage at 5 months. And that was in high school. And the baby, it was an actual baby. So when the baby came out, I actually saw the baby in a
Between
sack.
5 to
It
6
wasn't completely
weeks.
developed, but I did see the fact that it formed. What I'm saying is,
Because the baby look like a tadpole.
it shouldn't be
That's
an
what y'all-
option for birth control to control,
Y'all making
your
people feel
actions
bad.
and not you
Stop.
respecting yourself and you not being cautious and mindful. But
But
what
about
about
7
when
weeks.
people are getting
Except she
pregnant
was in
because
high
of the
school,
lack
she
of
would have had a
knowledge?
miscarriage. Wish she would have had a baby.
Jay, hold on, Don. We got a question for you. Go ahead, Jay. What you say?
Yeah, because
No, say it again. Say it
what
again.
about people that get pregnant because of the lack of knowledge? I was pregnant at 15 years old, not because because I was told not to have sex. I wasn't taught to be smart about it. I wasn't taught about birth control. So yeah, I was talked out of it.
How do you teach your kids now, though, Don? How do you teach your kids?
Well, my son is 24, so that's a little bit different.
Well, I'm saying no, but when he wasn't always 24, he was a young man. He was a baby boy at one time. How did you teach your son about having sex and is this your son that you had when you were young?
No, I had a miscarriage. I had a miscarriage at 15, and then I turned around and I had another miscarriage the next year at 16. Two times having sex.
Sorry to hear that, Queen.
No, for real.
Right, but that's not an abortion though.
Right. But the thing was, it wasn't. My mother was from the South.
Right.
So she was raised that you don't have sex. It wasn't to protect yourself. It wasn't to wait. You don't have sex, period. But, she wasn't living in the times that I was living in at that particular time, so she didn't educate me. And I didn't know. And I was too embarrassed to ask the right questions and be able to surround myself with the right people. You can't say that. You can't say that that's not normal, because how many teenagers and kids and young people, they just don't know. I educate my son, yes.
Let me ask you this and tell me what you think.
And then, she want to take a break.
Okay, all right.
Serious.
Okay, all right, hold on. So before we let Kate take a break,
Can't take it as a bar.
Let me ask you this. Let's say the DeSoto Bass or Parkside or whatever housing projects where it is like extreme poverty going on.
Yeah.
Do you think that it would be acceptable for somebody to go in there and just burn that shit down with all of the people living there? And they say
eugenics.
They say these people don't seem like they would have a good life, so let's just get rid of them right now.
I don't like your scenario.
Yeah.
Well, when you are poor and you go and you kill a child just based on the fact of your prediction as to what this child may or may not become, you're essentially doing the same thing, going in, killing somebody based on what you expect bad to happen in their life.
Not saying that you expect bad to happen, but you're not mature enough to know.
Well, if you don't know, it's not right to kill someone based on your misunderstanding.
The option, but at that term of maturity, when you're that young and you're that immature, you can't say to think logical on an adult from your perspective at almost 50. We are 50 at this point. You're not thinking like that at such a young age and at such an immature stage in your life. No, you can't say I'm going to keep my legs crossed, Roxy, because I'm 15 years old.
No, it is, and what you're saying it is true, but this is when
we're immature. We can be taught. Just because our parents teach us don't mean that we're going to do what we're taught.
I know that, but what I'm trying to say is, but that goes beyond abortions too. I mean, that goes with just regular homicide. That goes with just
I don't even look at that as a choice option. What I'm saying is that to restrict that is going to add desperation into the question, to where people are going to start going to get the botched abortions the way that they do with their bodies, because they're going to feel like they have no options, and they're going to feel desperate, and they're going to desperate times are going to call for desperate measures.
But what about if that's not what's going to happen? What about if people are going to start... Hold on, wait a minute, because that is a gloom and doom type of prediction. But what about the other side of the coin, where people will say, you know what, abortions aren't readily available, so I'm not going to have sex until I'm sure that this person cares about me, and if we have a child, it will be a good thing.
That's not realistic.
But it's not realistic. So good possibilities aren't realistic.
I'm gonna say before 1974, we've had abortions already. Is what I'm gonna say. Before it was legal.
Right now, that's not realistic. To say what you're gonna, hormones, testosterone, those things get to moving around. And all of that. So I'm not saying that it's the best option, that the abortion is the option as far as birth control is concerned. What I'm saying is we must be realistic and not remove all of the options, because under those circumstances, things are going to happen, and we don't want people to get desperate, and that's when they get to hurt.
What about if a woman is already... So how many abortions would you think a woman should be able to have? and it still be.
I do believe that that's a case by case basis, man. Like, I mean, I really believe that. I don't believe that that should be just readily available. That you should be able to just say, oh, I got pregnant, I'm gonna go run and get an abortion.
But Answer Cake was also.
That's not what I'm saying.
Should any woman be prevented from having an abortion because she's had too many?
But also, and you know what? I'll answer your question with the B part of this was even with abortions being legal in a lot of states, there still was 200,000 illicit abortions during a time where you can go to a state and get it done. Really, it's like done. So we're talking about when it was legal to do it. It's there was 200,000 people who went and got it done illegally and died based off of it. So if it is now illegal, I'll at least say those numbers are going to double, if not triple.
Yeah.
And the answer to that is, I feel that it's not on me to put the onus on how many that it should be. I feel that if
so, y'all don't have a judgment on. I'm just saying, like
that's a good message.
I'm just saying, like I don't judge people, but I do judge certain actions. And when somebody comes in and commits one of these actions, they just are only judged because they committed that, but not as a person in general. We all judge. Like, man, who don't?
No, man. I'm gonna give you an example. Look, so
there's no room to. We're living in a perfect world where we're not going to do things that may have a consequence behind it because we do it all the time.
So
you don't say, "Oh, I'm gonna get pregnant." I mean, it is a gamble, but some people live a gambler's life. I mean, you don't. There's no room to say, "Oh, I shouldn't have did this time. I have to live with this as a result of for the rest of my life." You know, not every single time, but I'm saying there's no room anywhere.
So what I want to do to like give any type of clarity to that topic is this. Let's say you have a jewelry store, right? Mm-hmm. And people run outside the jewelry store and then you kill one person because he tried to rob you. The cop can't show up and tell you, you know, I know what happened to you was wrong, but don't let it happen again. You're going to say, I did this in lieu of this happening. Something happened to me. Right? So I can't say that shop owner cannot kill the next person that tries to rob them again. Cannot kill, like, so I'm not saying killing is the same thing. I'm just saying you cannot put a metric on that, not knowing the anomaly of when something bad happens to that same person again. If I excuse the first one based off of a technicality, then I'll be inclined to accept the second off that same technicality or something else being heinous as well. Are we gonna go to
Don, what's up? Come on, give us a closing point for real, and then we're gonna get to the next caller.
Okay. I mean, my point is, I don't feel like abortion is a form of birth control, but I don't feel like that anybody has the right to determine what you should do. Even yes, that is a life on the inside of you, but that is you as a woman. No one has the right to tell me what to do with my body. That's like me telling a man what to do with his. It's not fair. You know, it's not fair. I mean, I feel like we shouldn't be judged if we don't make the right decision every single time. You shouldn't have to be lived, you know, to be judged by that for the rest of your life. You can't hold that over someone's head. You know, I feel like we should be selective, and there should be some laws that should be in place that kind of governs that. But just to say what we can and cannot do about our life decisions that may have been right or wrong, that's just not fair.
If I can tell one what to do with her body, she ain't doing what the fuck to do with mine.
Thank you for calling, man. You know, we really appreciate it. And Don Major. So for her to call our show, we lit.
Shout to Don. I mean, but
man,
I want the women to know that I agree. The women have all the rights when it comes to their body, because I have that same right when it comes to mine. Remember that. It's a double-edged sword. If I say you do whatever you want to with your body, I mean that. I mean that on my own body as well.
Well, can I counter that point, please? Can I go and have a surgery, take out one of my organs, and sell them motherfuckers on the black market?
On the black market, you can do a lot of things. So I will be inclined to say yes.
But is it legal?
No.
Huh? Is it legal?
Not to my knowledge.
No, it's not legal for you to sell one of your fucking organs. It's illegal. So all of us are told what we can and cannot do with our bodies.
Okay.
Certain shit you do with your bodies is against the law.
Go
shit. Welcome to our world of being able to be
Man,
told what you can do
what
with
can the government tell you to do with
your
your
body.
bodies, man?
Man, whatever the fuck they want. I don't even think you're allowed to commit suicide. That shit might be illegal.
What they gonna do, man? They gonna lock you up and kill yourself?
No, they won't do that, but they will cancel your life insurance policy, and then the payout that's supposed to come from that will be voided. You can't kill yourself. That's what you can do with your body, and you also cannot sell your organs.
Well, you can't benefit from.
You can't sell your fucking organs.
For benefit.
It's my organs.
Because you can donate your organs.
You can, but you can't profit.
Not for profit, right?
And it only happens after
So
you
she's
die.
not profiting by her getting a budget. She ain't profiting.
Yeah, she talking about she gonna have more money to stack. Goddamn, go on vacation. I can't be having no damn baby. I'm trying to go on vacation.
Call her.
That'd
Man,
be real
pop this
though.
baby one time. And you can't even damn near shit. Like, do you gotta go to the doctor to have an abortion?
Yeah.
Is it legal for you just to have an abortion by yourself?
You gotta go to the doctor.
Depends on how
Jay,
far you are.
Can you have an abortion by yourself?
Depending on how far you are in
What you
time.
mean, like go in there by yourself?
No, go and lay in your middle of your damn floor, get a coat hanger, and pull the baby out like they used to.
I know we can't say that.
That is how they used to have abortion.
Man,
It's other ways, pills, stuff like that.
I know that.
Little
But
cinnamon,
I'm asking-
little something like that.
asking-
We ain't going in there with
Should
the
it
hangers
be
no more.
illegal for a woman to perform an abortion on herself?
You said should it be?
Kate, Jay, yes.
No, it should not be.
Huh?
No, it should not be legal.
Should it be legal? You said no?
Oh, it should be
Wait,
legal.
wait, wait.
It should be legal.
Yeah.
B?
Is it illegal?
Is it legal? Should
I
it be
told
legal?
y'all my experience. So.
I'm coming with the. I'm a dog at this.
Yes.
Hey, J
It
Money,
should be legal.
please, everybody in the comment section.
Take a point and repeat it again fast for the first time.
Man, in the comment section, you guys, thank you, Don. No, absolutely not. Don said no. A woman should not be able to
What?
have an abortion.
What if?
Give her own self an abortion. So why is it right, Don, for them to tell a woman what to do with her body when it comes to
Wait a minute.
when it comes to her
Wait a minute.
having abortion, giving it to herself?
I got a question
And trying to
then.
tell her what to do with her body.
I got a question. Wait.
Talk to me nice.
So what I'm thinking is, right, contraceptive is basically that barrier, right? So you taking the action of you going through getting a implant, you getting the IUD or whatever that hell's called. That is you already having a contraceptive. A contraceptive is literally stopping you from getting pregnant. So technically you're doing that if you put the IUD in yourself, and some applications are called for that to put it in
Hey, let
yourself.
me ask you guys another question. And Jay, this is for you too. Hey, is it legal? Is it legal to put cocaine inside your body?
Ooh. What you mean is that?
Is it
Like
legal
inside your body.
to put cocaine inside your body?
Man, I think you just ran into something wrong because at one point in time it was legal
I'm
for
talking about right now, Peanut.
at one point in time it was legal for doctors to do it during eye surgery. Did you know that?
It might have been, but
It was.
at one point in time, abortions was illegal and legal.
Didn't take this fucking fucking
Hey, Jay.
I tried.
Hey Jay, how is it right for the government to tell you what to do with your body as far as putting in drugs and all this other bullshit inside your body? They trying to tell you what to do with your body, right?
It depends. If you in that, is it illegal to be high?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yes, it's called public intoxication for one.
Factuals.
So, what about
In my home?
yeah? It's illegal to have the substance and to put
On
it
the
inside your
mark?
body. Yeah.
In my trunk? Yes.
Yes.
I'm not posing a threat.
I ain't never heard of that.
In your trunk?
I'm the wrong person to be
No,
asking this
public
question.
intoxication.
Yeah, but the point isn't
They already tell her what the fuck
is
to
it
do with her
wrong?
body. Yeah.
There's a lot of instances where you're being told what to do with your body.
You can have drugs in your body in Washington State.
Yeah, you can go have an abortion in Ohio. So what's the big?
Nah, he's more easy buckets on me. I can get back to this list. nigga cooking me down. I don't like that. All right.
Hey, my nigga Rocky Turner said get a tattoo and try to enter the military. That shit's not going. People tell you what to do with your body based on the system and setup that you live in. And I ain't gonna say this, but
He about to say it. When they say I ain't gonna say it, he gonna say it.
I was gonna tell you niggas.
Wrong. But is it wrong?
So, okay,
Go ahead.
hold up.
What,
Wrong
bro?
to talk bad about the president of the United States.
Talk to me nice.
Hello?
Yeah.
Is it wrong to talk bad about the president of the United States?
Is it wrong to? I think constructive criticism is in play for anybody and everybody.
Okay, well, that same right is not given to North Koreans.
True.
Okay.
They can't say to the people of China. They cannot speak bad about their rulers at all. In fact, in North Korea, if that nigga Kim Jong-un died today, if a motherfucker not crying hard enough tomorrow, they'll be put in jail. So what I am saying is that laws differ a lot across the land, and it's a case by case basis.
So I want to ask a
The
question.
whole reason
So,
behind.
DeMarco said some good shit, but come on, Jay, what you saying? The laws are different across lands and what?
The laws are different across lands, and people be put in jail and are demonized for different reasons. And what I'm saying is that humanity itself chooses to do what it wants to do with whatever society that they in.
Great segue.
Wrong
Because
and
it's
right,
advantage.
not the same everywhere.
Okay. I agree. And so that was Jay. You know what, man, bro, we be twins so much.
Bro, he gotta come
That
back
was
and
my
chop
point.
it up like
That was my point that I was about to make. If you don't like the law, go somewhere else.
That is wait, Paul. That is so terrible to hear that. That is the same thing said to black people all the time about racist whites.
I told a white man the other day to go somewhere else if he didn't like it. Listen, because he was talking about Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and he was talking about all of this shit that the gas prices is high. I told him, I said, you know what, bro? As bad as you think it is, go to some of these third world countries and see how they living. Go there. I told him to go back. Go wherever else he think is better.
I'm coming to get some of this. I'm gonna get a white nigga to go back to Caucasus Mountain.
Then tell him.
All right, so look.
Marmar was with me. We was in Bob Evans.
So,
In his territory.
So wait. I'm gonna pose a question, right? Because great segue. Because he said vanity.
All right, love you too, King.
So bless King. So
Hung up on you, Jay. Sorry.
great segue because he talked about vanity, right?
Yeah.
Vanity is something that is very, very prevalent in the black community. Like, we all like to look good, you know what I'm saying? All of us fly here, right? BBL surgeries are illegal, and if it's practiced by unlawful person that's doing it, people still gonna get it done. So are these pro-lifers out there no longer sitting there outside of clinics? Are they going to go out there and save women's lives down there?
No, they're not.
So do they
Man,
really
our
care about women's
YouTube
lives?
is going crazy over here. Damn.
Take away from SMED. SMED ain't take YouTube this whole time.
YouTube, what's up? What's up, my nigga James Constantino, Curious Energy.
Let's go.
Damn, they having like a whole live conversation over here. Man, y'all super chatter some of that chatter, man. Like, subscribe, ring the bell notification. Get with us, man.
So,
Damn, we got a whole full comment section though. That's pretty cool.
get to some of the comments. Real
They
quick.
sound crazy.
The latest one.
It says no, you don't like kill black life. Period. Yeah, it said don't kill black life. What's the number? I want to talk. Curious G, call us 937-991-0025. They just kind of commenting back and forth. You know, they say it's so gross about killing kids. Black women in Dayton are having 10, 11, and 15 abortions, yet get to go to church every Sunday talking about Black Lives Matter.
Wow.
Whoa,
Wow.
headshot point, man. What's up with it? Shirley Easy listening in.
Shout out to Shirley Easy for sure.
Put the number up, bro. I got you. Say
Here we
less.
go.
937-991-0025.
So while we're here, right? Because there is a racial element to this, right? So please let's revisit this, right? Because we talked about it earlier when we had Raven on, right? Because before we had eugenics, and eugenics was a thing that literally was trying to eradicate black people. What do you think will come from the new wave of us not having, like, what is the post Roe versus Wade era going to be? Go ahead.
And you ask a podcast.
Yes.
We got a question coming to you, but what's your name and where you calling from?
I am Curious Energy, a.k.a. Tisha Davis. I am calling from Dayton, Ohio.
Hey.
And you calling from YouTube.
Yeah, we love you. We love you. You're the greatest. You're the
That's
greatest.
what's up, man. What's up, Tisha? Talk to me.
You know what? I don't understand it, man. We are 13%. We make up 13% of the population. I'm talking about black people, not people of color, because when you include people of color, you include Mexicans, you include black Asiatics, Africans. I'm talking about us black folks. We are 13% of the population, right? But yet still we make up 37% of the abortions performed in this country. This is not including the prison population.
Yes.
This is not including our babies in foster care. This is not including our homosexual brothers. And this is not including our black men that's in interracial relationships. I don't understand why black women don't see that we are clearly losing out here. And then not to mention, do you know how many women, I know some women that date right now. I know a woman that's 30 years old, just turned 30, 2 children, two babies, pregnant now, 11 abortions. I know another woman in her 60s and dating 13 children she done killed, 13 black lives she done killed. But yet you out here screaming Black Lives Matter? How? Please somebody help me explain. Please somebody explain this to me. I am all ears. I really need somebody to explain this to me, please.
So I want to ask her, what will be the fallout from this new proclamation of Roe versus Wade being reversed? What will be the fallout from this? And she's perfect for this.
The fallout from it?
Yes.
Listen, me personally, I am pro-life. I'm not pro-death. Because if you're not for life, you're for death. Period. There's no pro-choice. It's either you're for life or you're for death. The way that I see it, because I researched, and I've been doing this for a very long time, the way that I see it, the government right now is really reaching for, especially these doctors who are killing these babies, like when these women get abortions at 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 months pregnant. Senate Bill 2223 in California right now is you can have an abortion in California right now. Listen to this, up to 28 days after you give birth.
What?
Now, tell me how does that work, guys?
Hold on. Run that back one more
Fact
time.
checking.
Run that back one more time, Queen. What'd you say?
Senate Bill 2223 in California right now, okay? They passed a bill that states you can have an abortion up to 28 days after you give birth. This is what these people are fighting for. This is what we are mad about, y'all. Y'all mad about because I want to go out here and have sex with as many people as I want to, but I'm trying to go to college at Central State and be my best me, but I also want to be my nastiest me and go out here and have unprotected sex and possibly have a baby and get an abortion. No, it doesn't work like that, y'all, and we got contraceptives out here. And if contraceptives don't work, then that just means that God is, if you believe in God, if you believe in life, because we have totally disregarded life and replaced it with death. But if you believe in life, if you get pregnant while you're on birth control, that means that God is telling you that this baby is here for a reason. We have totally forgotten our concepts of life. We have totally said, forget our ancestors, what they stood for, Malcolm X, Martin, all of our ancestors who fought for us in our not too distant past in the 60s. They fought for us to live today. Every last one of us, only
Yes.
talking about we're fighting for abortion. We're fighting for the right to kill our future, but we don't see it though. We don't see it because we're so caught up in this illusionary. I don't know what it is. I just think what is one of the chicks, one of the famous chicks talking about some my body, my choice. Are you serious? Are you for real? Rappers. These degrading rappers, these type of women that are degrading themselves, and we are really idolizing these women because we don't have women like Angela Stanton King or what's the one woman that's the professor up there in Columbus who wrote the book The New Jim Crow. We don't have women like this as our leaders. We got Cardi B's and Meg Thee Stallions, super embarrassing women who won't hesitate to go out here and get an abortion. We got them speaking for us right now. Come on now, y'all for real? I just really want to know, somebody please make it make sense for me. I don't mean to be talking. I don't mean to be hogging.
So I want to ask you one question.
But I just need somebody to please make it make sense for me. Our people protested in our not too distant past all over this country. They even died. They died arm in arm with each other so that we can live today. And today we are making up all type of excuses and justifications on why it's okay for us to kill our future children. Why? On top of it, they are sexually transitioning our children. It's okay for our kids to be gay. Yet still they are aborting our children. We're filling up our prisons with men. Please somebody make it make sense for me.
I got the stats up on the screen. I mean, look at this though. And then hold on, but P, go ahead, ask your question, bro.
So I have a list of people who I've already reached out to, and they gave me reasons why they had abortion. Right? You had one person that said after she got her anatomy scan, she found that her infant that she was so excited to bring into the world had developed without life-sustaining organs. Right? Another person said that she was sexually assaulted on her way home from work, only to come to the horrific realization that her assailant planted his seed in her when she got a positive pregnancy test, resulted a month later. You have another person said that she had a hemorrhage due to a placental obstruction, causing her parents, spouse, and children to make the impossible decision on whether to have her unborn child. You have another person who there's multiple reasons why people have it, and I think if we just cast this broad paintbrush, then we're missing a lot of things. Because like I said before earlier, abortion is part of a bigger, larger issue, right? It is not just the fact of people are not just out here. I understand. Yes, we do have the extremists. We do have people that say post my abortion. We do have these offsets. We also have the people that are literally the person that literally had a traumatic thing happen to them, and they're still being put in this same category that you classify these other women with that are the extreme part of it. Imagine if we were all casted and painted with the paintbrush of our people that we don't associate ourselves with. You ever heard the term, yeah, I'm black, but I ain't that type of black, or I'm this, but I ain't that type of nigga, or white people do the same thing when they say, I'm not trailer park trash. Black people have this same term that we use in a different type of way. So I definitely get your point, and I definitely love your passion, because, you know, like sis, like feeling like we've been following each other for a long time. But at the end of the day is, we can't use this broad paintbrush to think we can get everybody painted with the same stroke. But go ahead.
Okay, well listen. Do you know how many people that's walking around here today, right, that are a blessing to somebody else that was a victim, that are children that are rape victims? Their mom was raped, but their mom still had them. Do you know how much of a blessing that they are? If not to their mother themselves, then to other people today.
So Tisha, I want to say this to you. Me and SMED had an inopportune time to experience the same thing at the same exact time. We literally had, me and SMED is like this, I don't know. We talk about stuff and it happened right in front of us. Remember SMED, we were in here talking about how we've never met somebody who survived an abortion. Remember? Mm-hmm. Then the very next day we had somebody come in here that wanted to do a show about their kid that was missing.
Yeah.
And she told us that her child that is missing was a product of RAPE, right? Remember?
Yeah.
And she literally said her child is missing based off this. Now, one school of thought will say she went through a traumatic experience and she did not have to go through with this, raising this child up to this point. And then you can look at the other school of thought and say, this child still has a fighting chance to turn her life around and do whatever she wants to. This child is now missing during the same time that we're talking about. She doesn't have a father because the father also was incarcerated for this thing that happened to this lady. And we literally had this happen where we literally met somebody, well, in the magic of movie is we never met this person because they were missing a product of abortion that didn't happen. This person is now missing. Not a positive. I'm not saying whoever this person could be.
She been on the status comment.
So this person is now missing. Missing. Still missing. I check. I still check in with her. So she know I ain't lying. I done reached out to her multiple times since she came here and we didn't do a show. I still reached out. This person is still missing today.
Tish, why don't you wrap it up for us? Wrap
I
up
love
your
you,
point
Tish.
for us one time.
I love you, Tish.
Like the
love
way
you,
that
Tish.
you just now came in
The
was.
daughter with her son found out like they was.
Because I can't help it, man. I just need for us to make it make sense. We need to step back. We need to reevaluate. We need to understand that there's an agenda to end black life. It doesn't matter if you're rich. It doesn't matter if you're poor. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what class you are. It doesn't matter. As long as you are black or African American, Aborigine, Niji, whatever it is that you want to call yourself. If your last name is Davis, Johnson, Allen, whatever, you know what the common black. Your life is under attack. Your future is under attack. And us sitting up here protesting for abortions ain't doing nothing but aiding in the agenda, making ourselves look crazy. We're just sitting up here talking about how much black lives matter, and now we up here talking about, no, we need abortions. We need abortions. Then let me make this another fact, too, okay? Because a lot of these aborted fetal tissues are being used for further studies, okay? Studies like stem cell research. And let me tell you, most of the women who are getting these abortions, for one, they're not asking for their children's remains at all. Never had a burial for their children, their aborted babies. So they're having their way with these aborted babies and aborted fetal tissue. So I say that to say, these people are making stem cell research and all types of things that will save people with money is what I'm going to say. They're saving their lives. But common people, black women who are performing these abortions, you're not going to get this.
Oh, okay, hold on, Tish. Wait a minute. Hold on. Listen. This is the question that we all have been wondering. What do you think the government has planned in order for them to stop abortions? Like, what is the benefit of the government in order for them to stop abortions? Which
the way that I see it, honestly, they are trying to stop. The way that I see it, that I've researched, they are trying to really stop something bigger that most of us Americans really do not understand for real. Because a lot of these doctors and a lot of these women, they really have been performing abortions at around late-term abortions at around 7, 8, and 9 months pregnant, and they're doing other things with these babies. So, and the government is really stepping in, and they're trying to, eliminate this problem without, causing mass hysteria. And it's a lot of women who really can't fathom. It's a lot of women who are pro-choice, if you like to say, who really can't fathom the thought of having an abortion, or don't think that women are having abortions at 7, 8, and 9 months gestation, but they really are. So they're really thinking in terms of, 6, 7, and 5 weeks pregnant and stuff like that. With that right there, that's just a DNC, a dilation and curative. You can just suck the baby out or whatever. But no, we're talking about late-term abortions, baby. And most people don't know how late-term abortions are performed. They really don't know. As a matter of fact, one of the girls that I was just talking about, I'm not going to say no names out of respect, but it took 2 days for them to kill the baby out of it. Can you imagine being a woman? You're 6 months pregnant. You're going through with an abortion, and it's taking them 2 days to kill this baby out of your system. 2 days. You as a woman can live with that? So, yeah, I'm going to leave y'all with that. Y'all have a wonderful night.
Right.
And I love y'all. It was so very nice talking to y'all. And please just think about it. If Black Lives Matter, then all lives matter. From sperm to 150 years old, we all matter. Good night, y'all.
Good night. Good night to you. And just to kind of echo what she was talking about, just this study happened in Pennsylvania, and I'm going to put this up on the screen, and then I'll read it to you guys. And then we're about to get out of here because, man, we've been building for a little bit longer than what we expected.
And while you pull it up, I want people at home to Google this thing called the Bruce effect, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Bruce effect is something that happens natural in nature. Mm-hmm. In nature, right? So let's say SMED was his own primate, and he literally is a person who has multiple female monkeys around him that he is procreating with, right? Then you got this flashy peanut monkey that pulls up that wants to overtake SMED's monkey kingdom, right? If I overtake SMED, feel me, and I kill him, the female monkeys in that tribe will abort the babies that he has already planted in them. It's in nature. I mean, anybody out there who has dogs, right? You have a dog that will have, they will notice something wrong in the fetus of the dog, and they will eat some of the dog. We all seen this. It's not acting like we are too far removed from. Look, see that? Look, this is the way the Lord intended. A baby screaming to get you out of your bed. Right. Let's say what the Lord intended, right? And as a great mother she is, she go on there to nurture and take care of her baby. And we always talk about the thing called nurture versus nature, which I think we want to get back to that real quick. But man, I'm literally a moderator, man, and I literally wanted people to get a chance to get a full overview of what we talk about. Because if you look at a lot of the points that we talked about, we agreed on so much. We agreed on so much. Too many. That situation, nah, that ain't cool. This and the third, that's not cool. We really outlined a lot of the things that really were the framework on why this bill got passed. So I don't want to make it this whole anti-government thing because, you know, we all got anti-government views, right? Whether it's taxation, and we can stop there, right? What I learned through this discussion was that we all meet on a common ground of we do not want to kill children. Abortion is bad for everybody. Nobody thinks that nobody's a victim in this. It's not a victimless crime. And we all agree. Like, there's certain things that would cause it to where people could possibly use this as a negating factor. But at the end of the day is, we should be looking out for why things are being changed. Why? Ask yourself why. And that are some things that we all came to when it comes to how we all vision this. So, man, bro, I'm blessed to be here, man. You feel me? Like my mom, literally, which my closing point was my mom had 2 abortions before I was born. And me talking to my mom today, shout out to my mom, I love you, Mama Bridget, and I'm sitting there talking to her about it. She was like, the butterfly effect of this. And my mom said that if she would have had her first baby at this point in time in her life, then the first person she married probably wouldn't have married her because she had a child, which could have been wrong. He could have loved her no matter what. But she had 2 abortions before this happened. So it's 2 kids. Then my brother, which is my oldest brother. Then you have me, and then my and then my sister. So that'd have been 5 kids compared to 3. I probably would not be here if my mom did not have an abortion.
And just to wrap this up.
That's my point.
I was the first.
Come
Mama
on,
had
Jay.
abortions after me, and then she had my sister, and then that was it.
Well, I
She
think.
told me one time she had an abortion, and I was mad.
You was mad?
I wanted, because I was by myself at the time. So
You want pro-choice then,
I wanted a little sibling. I was mad. Like, what you I'm not gonna have no sibling. Like, I was hurt.
And just for everybody that's watching the podcast, I want to thank everybody for being a part of our discussion today, because this is a issue that I think it's kind of like got some intelligence to it, and I'm really proud of all of us for just coming to contribute to this. We got 154 comments, which is more than what we get when we have guests come on here.
Yeah.
So, man, I'm thankful for everybody on both sides to just come in and contribute so we can have a chance to chop it up. But for everybody that's watching, no matter what side you're on, I'm pretty sure you're glad that your parent didn't have an abortion.
Yeah.
Because now you get a chance to experience this thing called life. Like, man, ready for a baby? I ain't gonna say I was ever really just had all my shit together. Even now, you know what I'm saying? Because you got ups and downs. But, man, for me to have my children and for me to look at all my children and see all the wonderful things that they're doing, from, man, both of my sons, man, to my daughters. My daughter just graduated from as a massage therapist, like literally just graduated and got her certificate, passed her test on Saturday. And my son is up here working with me, and he got my grandson, and my other daughter, she just had another grandson for me. And man, my two baby daughters are so beautiful, and they're about to graduate. And so when I just look and see all the positive things that have came from situations that could have went either way, you know, like shit, I could have lost this business. They mothers ain't born with a silver spoon in their mouth, but we got it together somehow, some way, and the kids are coming out good, you know. And so I just want to just say, like, you can do this shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I hear these same people that's talking about it's a woman's choice and it's a woman's body, but they always say God don't give you nothing you can't handle. So if God don't give you nothing that you can't handle, then go ahead and handle that baby. And it's going to make you be a better person at the end of the day when you put the proper sacrifices in place. And that's real shit.
And Tupac said, since a man can't make one, he has the right to tell a woman when and where to create one.
Mm-hmm.
He also got some out.
Pac ain't perfect. Pac, I mean, like
Brenda's Baby was another song that's also another precursor to what we're going through. Pac could go through, but Pac was very conscious of what's going on and what can actually happen.
He was, and that was true. But a man shouldn't be able to tell a woman, "You gonna have this baby." I agree with that, because he ain't in no moral authority position over a woman to dictate to her as to what she should be doing.
Thank you, sir.
Unless he a husband.
However, look.
But I am just saying though, a woman has to consider the child inside of her as a part of the equation too.
Yes.
And if she's not doing that, then I think that she hasn't got to the conscious level that she needs to be at. And just because some shit is available, don't mean that you should partake in it. And that's my take on it. Rock said it's worth millions, but you want public assistance, man. And I'm a end here. I did see there might be one angle that we're not looking at, so why the government would want every child to be born. Like when you're born and you have a birth certificate created, I do believe that you get $1 million worth of credit for each child that's going towards the Federal Reserve. And if we're talking about 480,000 children being aborted each year, if you multiply that times 1 million, you will see us coming out of a deficit. So that could be a reason. I don't know. I mean, these are just some of the things that I've heard. So, I mean, the more babies, the more money, the more birth certificates.
And one last thing I want to talk about, because I'll be socially irresponsible if I do not bring this up, is the actual uptick in racism that will ultimately come from this, right? Like, we're not too far removed from the Emmett Tills of the world. So instead of you having this woman or young girl that can go get an abortion done and nothing's done wrong between her and her black boyfriend, is going to come to the fact of her being scared to tell her parents that she's pregnant, happen to carry that baby, and it may turn into a whole bunch of he, R-A-P-E me. I'm just letting you know, we come from that. We ain't too far removed from that. Keep your head up and your eyes open.
All right, y'all, man. We love everybody. Tomorrow we got Hondo coming on, and
Hondo.
Tomorrow we got the BBL
podcast.
Is that right?
Yeah.
We got the BBL podcast tomorrow at 8:30. So 6 and 8:30, it's gonna be lit. So man, we love everybody. Jay, Kate, man, thank y'all for coming through. At
Y'all
the last
amazing.
moment, y'all really came and made the Godcast tonight.
Drop out social media so people can go. You feel me?
Follow me on Instagram at StuckUpC with 4 E's. And watch the Queen's Conversation this Thursday at 8.
Yes,
Say
Kate,
less.
what you got?
Check me out on the book. I drip out the city. Free drip custom lemon cake on
Yes,
Facebook and Instagram.
Big Cap is not a victim. You feel me? Cops and shirts, cops and merch, man. It's lit for y'all.